Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Apollo Justice. Trump was shot.
That's how you start it?
It's the only thing I can think about right now. Anyway,
That's how you fucking start it?
we don't actually have to talk about it. I just wanted to say it to like commemorate today, the holiday that it is. But the what was I gonna say? I remember when we came back to Ace Attorney when this HD trilogy came out. We did Case 1. Case 1 was pretty good. We did Case 2. I still really liked Case 2, right? And then I think there was like a delay in there. Like I think like that was when Saba like left for the month, right? No. Saba left right as we were finishing Case 3, I think, or something along those lines. Anyway, the long and the short of all of what I'm saying here is that I do want to do Ace Attorney 5 and 6, but we absolutely need to do something else in between cases. And I forgot that was the original plan. You know? Because on the schedule, I just have the same image twice, right? For the Apollo Justice trilogy. I forgot that originally the plan was to do a case, then play an entire game, then come back for the next case, because whatever. And when I was looking at it, I thought that meant Ace Attorney 4, then Pokemon Coliseum, then Ace Attorney 5. Fuck no.
Yeah.
We need
some shit in between.
I still really like this series, but it's like, goddamn, it gets old real fast. It's like, I guess this kind of ties into something that I did today. I had a mango for the first time since leaving California. It was really good. However,
I like mangoes a lot.
Mangoes are really good. However, it was delicious. And then I had about 2/3 left of a mango, and I was like, please let me die. Obviously, I could have packed it away or whatever and just ate it later.
Bite into it like an apple?
No, I sliced it.
Oh, okay.
I knew, like, I looked up how to properly handle a mango and stuff like that. There was a lot more flesh than I was initially anticipating. You might say, thank you, Silveroon. You might say you have a case of Ace Attorney burnout. It kind of is. Because it's like, it's still good. And I still really like the series and like how it functions overall. But like, I can't believe how quickly I get sick of these fucking cases, man. Oh, and there's an Adrian. See, I knew that the longer we just vamped, the more likely it was that Adrian would show up.
We're vampires?
No Parsec, Adrian. It's just Discord.
I noticed. Thank the Lord.
You're welcome. And keep in mind, this is the kind of stream you can get all the time if you can work with me and vote Saba off the administrative team. Make her own fucking server, make her play her own fucking games, and we can just have Discord forever. This is my platform. Vote Zach 2024 for...
I don't know, Zach. You're sounding kind of aggressive, a little sus maybe even.
Adrian, did you hear the news? Adrian, did you hear the news? Adrian, did you hear the news? Adrian, did you hear the news?
Regarding what?
Oh my god. Grant, do you want to tell him the news?
Zach started the stream off with, hello everyone and welcome back to Ace Attorney. Trump's been shot.
Huh?
Which is true. He got shot in the ear.
Is he alive?
Yes,
Sadly.
he got shot in the ear. Apparently during a rally in Pennsylvania.
Whoever shot that guy in the ear needs the same accuracy of the guy that killed Shinzo Abe had. He needs to undergo the same intensive firearm training I'm sure that guy also had.
And Zach and I, before stream started, were discussing the trends on Twitter. For example, how do you miss? And
well, because it was on live TV, so like you can go and watch the clip, and it's like the guy rushes the stage from like stage left, and he's like, a fucking stone's throw away from the former president, and I'm like, motherfucker, I could have made that shot. What the fuck is your problem? But I don't think, because I know that some people are gonna say like, oh, it was a false flag or whatever, and it's like, I don't think so, because I don't think Trump would ever willingly injure himself. Ever. You know? Like, the guy's going to be missing a chunk of his ear for the rest of his life.
I think that Trump would be too obsessed with feeling invincible and having a God complex to agree to stage something like that.
I think if he were to stage it, he'd like catch the bullet mid.
I was gonna say, there's this. I learned on actually there was apparently a WWE match where Vince McMahon beats God.
Yeah, he pins God.
Yeah,
and it's just a spotlight.
I was gonna say that's how I feel like Trump would do it. He'd be like, folks, as you see, I've caught the bullet between my teeth, perfectly fine. Pearly whites
at him.
with enough velocity to kill a man.
Yeah, to kill the man. Oh no.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that happened like 2 hours ago.
I can't believe. Okay, here's the deal, right? I'm not generally a spiritual person or religious. I don't generally believe in the supernatural, right? But like, I think that happening and Trump surviving proves the existence of plot armor.
Spiritual plot armor.
I don't think there's any other explanation if he got that close and Trump lived. I think if I were that man, I'd be so suffused with my fury and hatred for that orange fuck that I simply would have shot him in the head.
Oh my god!
Oh hey, miss this guy.
Hey, it's this man.
Remember this guy?
This dude.
Remember him?
What's his name?
Remember how Phoenix completely doesn't
Wasn't it like
recognize this
Gertie
guy?
or something? Did it begin with a G?
Yeah, well, it started with a K. It's Kermit, actually.
Oh my god!
That's true. Yeah. Well, look who's back.
Well.
Thrown out of the precinct, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet. Oh, no.
Look, Phoenix remembers this guy because they planted him in 1-5. Also, I really like how he does the exact pose on his
his badge.
Yeah. That is a trope that I love when someone has a picture of themselves and they do the exact same picture as their pose.
Yeah, it zooms out in there. I fucking love that so much.
It's a really good trope. I can't believe Trump is fucking
Okay. We should move off of the topic.
Well, I just found out about it.
I know, but
I didn't have 2 hours to absorb this.
I didn't have 2 hours either. I learned about it 30 minutes ago.
Well, that's 30 minutes more than I had.
I know. You gotta work with me here a little bit.
Meekins.
What did I say? I said Gurky or something, right? Right?
Yeah, like
I'm
the
pretty
pickle.
sure Gurky's the name of the rogue in Red Dragon Inn.
Is that true? That might be true.
I'm reasonably sure the name is similar.
This is the face that Grant makes when we were living together, and I was like, "Hey, Grant, can I Yeah, who are you? How do I know you? No, I was gonna say.
Why are you living with me?
No, I was gonna say this is the face that Grant makes when we were living together. And I'm like, "Hey, Grant, can you drive me to a place?" And Grant's like, I have a car. Give me 1 second." And I hear outside, it's just like, "Get out of the car! Get it!" Boom. And then he pulls up in a brand new car every time. Grant has so many cars. Oh shit!
I have so many cars.
I was correct.
Oh my god, it is Gurky the Sneak.
Well, I didn't realize they added 4 new characters. Actually, on how many?
Like Gurky the Stink.
Oh Jesus Christ! They had 8 new characters that last checked up on Red Dragon Inn.
They also have a. They have a new game. The Kickstarter is back up again because it was like Tales from Red Dragon Inn, and I think it's like a more proper TTRPG style thing. I didn't back it, but they're doing a second printing because the first printing was so popular.
Yeah, they also they finally added their token. They added a token tiefling character. I did
Hey,
not
let's go.
realize they had that.
But they can't be called tiefling, because isn't tiefling a copyrighted term?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's demonkin.
Oh,
like, it's
okay,
basically
fair enough then, I
tiefling.
guess. Saba's posting memes instead of it being on call.
Good for her.
You know what? You do you. Oh my god. Well, I just had the idea of how funny would it be if I started copywriting Saba's content. Copyright striking Saba's stream. Like she's just restreaming my content.
Hit her with the cease and desist.
I just watched that. It's almost a pretty.
It's a good video.
It's a good video.
Wait, which one? Oh, the Spartacus?
No, I posted that one.
Okay, let's look at some.
Sal posted a really good Tom Jerry impersonation.
Holy shit, the yell.
It's a really good impression.
I'm about to say, that's like spot on. That's so good. And then what's this fucking...
Steady.
Oh! Brand! Why? Will you stop posting fucking rat violence?
What, do you want me to take him away from it?
I really
No,
like
don't do it, Grant.
I like
I'm
that
taking
kitten's
him
face
away.
at the end there.
Bam!
The cat looks like in that millisecond the cat is already regretting what it's done somehow. He's like, why did I do that? My paw moved on its own.
What have I done?
Oh, by the way, speaking of freak fights, have you seen the clip of Eddie Hall powerbombing a person in a 2v1 MMA ring fight?
Yes.
And then like immediately he gets up and just like the hardest right to the face you've ever seen in your life. Sent at that guy in the Shadow Realm.
I mean, respect to them. I wouldn't get in a cage with Eddie Hall.
I certainly wouldn't either, and I certainly wouldn't in the pre-match. Both like steal Eddie Hall's like bottle of water, and then like try to slap Eddie Hall in the face, and then try to like get in a pre-match fight with Eddie Hall repeatedly.
Yeah.
Like they had so many chances to not make him angry.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Like, listen, I know that there's a lot of like armchair boxing coaches that are like, "Oh, Eddie Hall has no technique. Oh, Eddie Hall is like not good at boxing. He's like shit, no trainers."
He's still one of the strongest men in the world.
The dude is like top 10 strongest men in the entire world, and also like 6'4" or whatever, and like 4 billion pounds of muscle.
He's like super atomic black hole.
He's super dense and like dude, like he probably has more muscle in one arm than I do in my entire body.
Correct. Literally, yes. I did want to just note, by the way, I do really enjoy how Zach Gramery is represented by this handy dandy Professor Layton icon.
They're stole it.
It's Professor Layton's like Smash Bros. Alt Skin 3.
Swiftly I ran! Why? I remember it like I was right there! Because it was!
Right there.
You know, that made me ask a question I'm curious about. I have not played Mario Odyssey. I don't have it. But, like, I'm trying to
Super
think.
good.
I believe you. I'm trying to think. Is it possible in that game or any other Mario game that has happened? Is Mario ever a cop?
You can wear a cop outfit.
Because I'm looking, I just Googled it. I don't see a cop outfit in the list here. There's like an aviator outfit.
There's no way that there's not a cop outfit for New Donk City.
I don't think there's a cop outfit. There's the mafia like pinstrip suit.
could have swore he had like
I
a
don't
like
think
a
so.
1940s cop uniform.
I don't
I'm
think
looking
so.
at the list here, and I see the aviators thing and the thing that Grant was talking about, like a suit of armor.
Every
like,
costume in Super Mario Odyssey.
Ranked tier list. Let's go.
there-
Number
there's-
1, naked.
True,
Naked.
nipple speed run.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see a cop outfit on here. I thought
Yeah, I don't think there is
there.
one.
I'm with Zach. I thought there was, but I don't see one. So
Yeah, look at that.
look at that. Because I was wondering, like, man, it'd be a really easy and shitty edit to make like Mario's like outfit blue and make his hat blue and have like a police badge on it instead of the M. But no, I guess not.
Huh.
Wow, respect to Mario for not being a fucking pig.
Yeah, you cut to his pig outfit.
Oh, damn it! Wow, some of these are pretty ugly though.
There was nothing there at all, sir. Definitely not a suspicious Zack-shaped lampshade.
I believe you.
Oh, man. I've been watching old playthroughs of Undertale, and it is always fun how they just have the conveniently placed lamp that you can only have time perfectly once, and it cuts in and never again.
Exactly the shape of what's the character's name?
Frisk.
Chris.
Undertale.
I was gonna say Fern.
In her, that's Adventure Time.
That's Finn.
That's both.
Was the plant duplicate named Fern?
Yes, because it's
Oh,
close to Fern. but it's a
I didn't
plant.
know that.
Well, I thought you'd know more about Adventure Time than I do, given I haven't even watched the whole show.
I watched the whole show like twice, and I still hate it. Can you stop with this shit? God fucking damn it!
You don't want to unravel the depths and plumb into Meekin's mind?
I think I want to kill myself.
Well, too bad. Mine will just bring
Quick,
you
someone
back to
get
spirit
that!
channeling.
Quick, someone get that guy from the Trump rally, so that way I
Quick,
can
someone-
experience the fear of death without actually dying.
Quick, someone get the thinker statue.
The finger statue.
How many cases? Is that a case?
Thinker-
I
thinker
believe
clock.
that's a murder weapon in like 3 or 4 cases.
All I know is that it's in his Marvel vs. Capcom Super. That's all I know.
It's one of the evidence items you can collect.
Yeah.
It's not a super.
Oh, by the way, Adrian, how do you feel about Never Stop Blowing Up so far?
I think it's pretty good. I have my gripe that you could probably guess what it
Oh!
is. But it's
This
pretty good.
sprite breaks my fucking heart.
It's like the Pearl crying sprite.
It's almost exactly the Pearl crying sprite, just with like an extra layer of clothing.
Yeah, I think Never Stop Blowing After is pretty good. I'm sure you can guess where
Blowing
my one
after.
gripe with it lies. Never Stop Blowing After?
I mean, it's
Never Stop
it's
Blowing.
obviously an enormous amount of fun so far, right?
Yeah.
I am curious though, because like, what was it? They had like, I think they have like 10 stats or something like that, right? Like,
It's a lot.
it's
I think
a lot of them.
It's either, I think it's 6 or 8.
It has to be more than 6 because fucking like we're only on episode 3 of like what 10 or 12, and one person already has a fucking D20 in one of their stats. You know?
There's 9. There's 9 of them.
Okay, so I was one over what it actually was, but it's like I don't know. I think it's just been a lot of fun. Obviously, it's really good to see Jacob Wysocki like in the dome. I definitely felt like in episode 1, you could feel his anxiety of like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like this is
Yeah.
the show that people come to what you calls it
This
drop
is
out
like
for.
top 2 moneymakers.
Right? And he's been doing great so far.
Yeah, and you can probably guess who I wish wasn't there.
It's really funny because I was actually going to talk about how Allie has actually been like a nanny, kinda. like they're helping Jacob, they're like reminding people of like things every once in a while, and it's like, I don't know, it's very different than how Allie normally works, and I think that's because like Allie, like, they're not the most experienced tabletop player at the table, but they're like probably number 2 at this point, you know what I mean, in terms of like actual professional productions, and I find that really interesting. I find that to be an interesting dynamic. I don't know. I feel like Allie's been doing great, and I love Allie's character so far. I think Allie's character is really interesting too.
I think Allie, to give them credit, right? I think Allie has been a lot less annoying to me than they are in previous seasons. However, I do hold gripe with just the concept of Allie's character a little bit.
What's wrong with Allie's character?
I feel like Allie is the only one who played in the real, like in the quote unquote like real video shop world. Allie decided to play a character who conceivably could already like stretch into the action genre.
They definitely, like, what's the name of it? It's Russ. It's Russell, I think, is the name of the character.
Something like that. I don't
Russell
care.
definitely feels like a character from like a TV show, right? He's like super hot, but kind of weird. But because he's hot, everybody gives him a pass, and so it's like, you know, like, doesn't necessarily have like bad intentions, but it's just kind of like, you know, doing things a little weird. Like, I just love when Allie was like miming Russell using the carpet blade to like rip up the carpet. It's like ass up in the air, like ugh. And Izzy as Paula is like, oh my god. It's just really funny.
It's just like Allie's playing this like super hot, and I get what they're going for. I think where it's like, oh, this guy is forced to confront gender stuff, which is like fine, whatever. But like Allie's playing this like super conventionally attractive dude, like according to like I guess MILF standards, basically target demographic standards of like those movies from back in the day.
More or less,
like,
yeah.
Who's like probably the most generally just skilled person in the video like store world, and like, you know, reasonably athletic and all this stuff. Like, this character could easily be the protagonist of like already like an action movie. And
Yeah,
it's
what's
like, well,
but I mean, like,
protagonist of a different action
what's the problem with that? I guess because like people like that do exist. Like, I don't feel like Russell is so outside the realm of possibility that they become fictional, but in, you know.
It just feels a little bit against the spirit of like, oh, we're a bunch of like boring ass dudes, and now we're like these action heroes. Like, oh well, you're like, this guy probably could have like.
Well, because I don't think that was, because I mean, you've obviously already mentioned this, but like, that's not necessarily Russell's like character arc, right? Like, Russell's character arc is coming to terms with, as you said, I think there is obviously going to be a gender subplot sort of thing, which of all the people at the table, like, you know, Allie is one of 2 people that could qualify for that conversation. So
I mean, I don't know. It's just like Allie, like Russell, whatever the guy's name is like 2 steps away from a couple of the characters that are in the video. That are in the
I forgot you guys are in watching this. Sorry.
What?
I sent a thing in on air, just fully brain farting on the fact that we are streaming and you guys are watching this.
That we can see.
Yeah. Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, that's just my conceptual gripe, and it's like, but otherwise, Allie has admittedly been tolerable. I still wish someone else was there, but I will also admit, Allie,
you also just hate Allie so much.
I just say I'm the #1 Allie hater, mostly ever since Total Forgiveness, but also other stuff.
Total Forgiveness, like, especially as like a relatively first exposure to Allie as a person, I can understand.
But yeah, I wish someone else was there, but I will admit, okay, here's the thing. I think that I do give Allie credit when it's generally due, and I think that Allie generally, their energy does fit Never Stop Blowing Up, unfortunately.
I could, yes. But are arguably much more appropriate in general than most of the settings where Allie is a character.
Right?
I don't know. I just really like the, because Brennan even called it out during an Adventuring Party episode where he was like, yeah, I was really kind of hoping that somebody would just be like, hey, let's just like hang out right? Like, we are different people in a fucking action-packed, like, world of craziness. Instead of just, like, plot, 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 let's have a scene where people are just kind of hanging out. And Allie was the first person to, like, you know, come up with that apropos of, like, nothing. Where it's like, you know, they were like, let's go to a club. Right? And I don't know. I feel like I said, I feel like Allie's doing a great job this season. So. Anyway. Hello, Grant.
Hey.
This is the Vegas of spoilers. I don't think there's any real spoilers we've said so far. But yeah. Oh, also, I dumped another like 100 hours into Baldur's Gate 3, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I despise this game, and I'm still gunning for an honor run playthrough.
It's still good.
It's not. It has so many flaws that piss me off to no end. It's so fucking easy to misclick, and I hate this game in a lot of ways for a lot of reasons. But I do want to show that I am a balding person, if you will. Because
He's balding.
I beat Baldur's Gate 1 and Baldur's Gate 2, and I don't know. I guess I just want to flex my gamer pride to no one in particular. Yeah, this. I lost my first run in honor mode. I dishonored my family, dishonored my cow, dishonored everything in my life that I stood for, to what I think was frankly an unfair bullshit situation. But in retrospect, I did, after realizing what happened, I did see that I had a way out that I just didn't realize at the moment. So I am sad and ashamed. So I'm on my side.
And you did bring dishonor to your family.
I brought dishonor to my country, my people, my ethnicity, my gender, my planet. Solar system. As a representative of the Milky Way galaxy, I brought dishonor to everyone.
Absolutely.
I think I speak for us all when the fact that I ruined my honor run playthrough brings great shame upon all of humankind and all of animal kind and all of space kind.
Yes. She has Mr. Hat even as a child.
Right, but you recall that Gurky or whatever his name was talking about how he was chasing somebody who he saw with a pink cape and the pink like top hat. Do you think it's entirely possible that Zach Gremery, for the second time, utilized his daughter's naivete, but talented naivete, to like trick her into abating his escape? Like, do you like? I think Meekins was chasing Mr. Hat.
Probably.
Yeah.
Unless Edgar decided to start accessorizing with capes, I guess. I do really like how whenever Mr. Hat talks, Trucy's hand moves.
That's true. That's very true. The eraser, Mr. Hat. Oh, do I get to look at that in 3D?
No way. Absolutely
There's absolutely no way. No!
She just brings it out for you like, how about now?
Because I'm trying to see if there's any like actual details associated with this. By the way, I don't think so.
I just want to say really quickly, I think that we should sue the game because that portrait in the background, that's us at console. That is doxing.
The portrait in the background?
Yeah, you see there's me on the right, there's Grant's in the middle there, and then there's Zach on the left.
What the fuck? Excuse you?
He's right.
You can see how short Saba is because she's down at the bottom.
He's right.
And you can see Grant's flipping the middle finger to Saba because he's so pissed at her.
Because she's too short.
Because she's like, Saba, get in the frame!
Because I'm getting taller!
We can't possibly fit both you and Saba in the frame unless we do forced perspective. Like, you have to go, like, 15 feet back.
Saba has to get super close.
And you can see there's Nosferatu in the corner there, too.
Gonna have to blur the VOD. Don't say even as a joke, that stresses me the fuck out.
I can't believe Zach would show the famous uncensored scene in Apologist Ace Attorney where crimes against human rights... That's not
what was in the locket.
Uncensored just happened.
Pretty messed up.
He's like, she's beautiful. Man, if only I wasn't homosexual.
Yeah, if only I wasn't engaged to Edgeworth.
If only the incident with Dahlia didn't permanently turn me homosexual.
I could see that
True.
canonically, actually. I don't know. How horrible does a partner have to be to permanently like divert you from their gender forever?
I mean, Dahlia did
Dahlia
genuinely
turned
was
into a fucking demon ghost.
She was a specter. She literally was like a shade, a spiritual entity that came to haunt Phoenix.
It's
and
like that,
Mia.
like she turned into the motherfucker that came for god damn it, what's his name? Fucking Scrooge.
She turned into a greater shadow.
During the Halloween season, she goes around fucking hunting actual ghosts because they're afraid of her. She every year on Halloween, it's like, oh well, we're gonna go to a party, and she's like, no, sorry, I gotta go hunt down Ichabod Crane.
She's the reason people stop wearing sheet ghost costumes at like the Ace Attorney world, because if you do, she'll find you and she'll strangle you to death.
It's like the Voldemort taboo. It's as soon as you look like a ghost, she's there. She's like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. Okay, but would you, with Dahlia?
No, she was fucking wretched.
Would you?
But you don't.
This is.
but you don't know how
I
tight she got
I
that
would
grip,
like to
though.
reiterate, for the record, that this is the exact same conversation from a different direction of when Lady Dimitrescu was like super popular or whatever, where it's like, would you? And it's like, yeah, she's hot and tall and all this stuff, but at the same time, if you actually like played the game, she's a wretched person, so no. You know,
what if it
Dahlia's
was
the
tight,
exact same-
Zach?
What?
What that thing tastes like?
What if she's got that gorilla grip? The gorilla grip yacht, Zach.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
Coward.
Okay.
The fuck do you mean coward? You motherfuckers need to have better personal standards.
What if she threatened to milk you like a viper?
My second policy of my administration will be that people should fall in love with people that they actually give a shit about. Woo!
Wow. Boo. We hate your pussy, boo.
What the fuck?
This is basically Project 2025, by the way. If you want to learn more about Zach's wretched stream policies, look up Project 2025.
Zach has a policy planned out for next year.
Yeah, exactly. Oh wait, hang on.
I haven't done anything illegal. You produced forged evidence. I should murder you right now. I need you, Drew. I need you to know that.
All right, I wanna post. Here's a couple thumbnails from who I think is modern day Hercules. With Hercules had all those tasks like the legendary
The
Herculean
Trials of
feats that he had to do.
Hercules.
Yeah, the Trials of Hercules. I think this guy is the modern day Hercules.
What is the most fuckable?
What is the most fuckable Taco Bell item? What is the most fuckable pie? What is the most fuckable pasta? I fucked 6 different pastas to find out what is the most fuckable bean. That one's like fucking 14 minutes long.
You gotta say the third one in the affliction of Mr. Beast.
I don't know. I don't watch his stuff.
What is the most fuckable pasta? I fucked 6 different pastas to find out. Zach, would you fuck 6 different pastas if it lived on an instant infamy in exchange for $10?
In exchange for $10? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say
What?
I'm good.
You don't want people to associate you forever with fucking pasta?
Good, I think. Thanks. God damn it. By the way, I do want to reiterate that I can kind of see what they were going for a little bit with this particular case, because it's like they're producing an exceptional amount of art for this case, because they're not only doing like they're doing the past and then the present, essentially versions of both. And so it's like they have to do 2 versions of most sprites. They have to do 2 versions of most locations. So it's like, okay, I understand that you're like, setting all this stuff up, but like, I don't know. It feels weird a little bit. Oh, we get to see what the post-it note looks like. Post-it note? Fucking stamp.
You good?
I'm being assaulted, alright, mentally.
By whom?
I don't know, Grant. Maybe you could figure that out. Yeah, see, I thought the mom was the one in the middle. That's what I thought. Bullshit that none of these are green. It's just Gumshoe in the background.
Oh.
He accidentally showed up on the day of their photo shoot.
Just walks in.
Oh, how am I supposed to get Oh, come on. How am I supposed to get a clue as to what her name is if she doesn't have a belt buckle with her first initial of her first name on it?
It's over.
She has one. It's just on her back. It's like behind her.
I guess that could work, actually, right? Like, I guess you could just wear your belt backwards, and that would be, I guess, functional?
It would be inconvenient unless you had someone do it for you, but it's still like a person more than you normally need for a belt buckle. Well, I don't know. Completely unrelated to everything we've said before, but you know who I really look up to in retrospect?
Most people, most men in the United States.
Lee Harvey Oswald and John Wilkes Booth.
Oh my god.
Apropos of nothing, by the way, just unrelated to anything we've said so far, but those men, they knew how to get a job done, you know what I'm saying?
By the way, I would like to reiterate, or not reiterate, but I would like to share, I can't remember their names because they didn't end up actually fucking mattering, but you realize that there were like other presidential assassinations in human history, right? Like it wasn't just those
Garfield.
2.
Yeah, but they didn't matter.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Shot the cat.
Does anyone remember the guy who shot, like, Teddy Roosevelt? I don't think so. He didn't matter. They just made Teddy Roosevelt look cooler and helped him get more elected.
More elected.
Yeah, exactly.
Sir, you're double elected now.
We liked you so much.
I am now the double president.
Again.
Oh my god, that's JFK after his brains fall out and, like, a starfish grow into a second JFK.
Double president.
Mitosis. The JFK Hydra.
What about John Hinckley Jr.? Who gives a fuck? The only notable thing about their administration was that they were assassinated.
Who's the...
That's kind of my point.
Didn't William Taft die by assassination from a bathtub not fitting his big butt?
It's not how he died. It's not how he died.
He sat in the bathtub, and the bathtub was filled with needles that only kill people if they're like too fat. And then the needles were like, oh,
the needles were
huge
Taft's only
guy.
weakness.
Taft was like, oh, I sure hope there's no water in this bathtub. Water's my only weakness.
That's obviously not true. His main weakness was saturated fats.
I hear Taft's weakness was was displacement of water.
Hold on. Hold on. Somebody look this up for me real quick. Somebody look up when Taft was born and died, and then when the founding of McDonald's.
And then when Donald Trump was born.
No, and then what? You think it's a reincarnation? No. I want to know the founding of McDonald's, and then when Howard Taft died. I want to know if there's any overlap. I doubt it because I think he's way older than that.
He was
but I don't
born
know.
September 15th, 1857. Died March 8th, 1930.
Ooh,
I think McDonald's.
I think
was
McDonald's is
around
like
yet.
50s. I think.
McDonald's is as old as
McDonald's-
the dinosaurs.
Founded in 1940, so 10 years later.
Oh, he missed it by that much.
He would have loved it.
He would have loved McDonald's.
You know how they say she should have been in the club? He should have been in McDonald's.
He should have been at McDonald's. It should have been me.
Wow, this
Succeeded by
studio
Woodrow
looks like
Wilson.
fucking garbage. God damn it.
He's gonna say he's not taking very good care of it. Like, okay, you know what? You know what's my new headcanon? The studio doesn't have a roof.
Well, I mean, there is like a skylight, but I like the idea of there just being no roof at all.
I just imagine that's not a there's just no roof.
Well,
Just-
I
just
wonder
rain gets
if
in here and just molds everything.
I wonder if the implication of this is that like, so he's the one. I think he's the one making the forgeries right now. And then when his daughter got older, she was making more better forgeries, which actually like improved their lives. I have no idea if that's true, but that would be my assumption. I'm going to continue to ignore all of this text.
Okay.
Let's do. You know what?
Start
Fuck this
You
game.
look at
Let's
his
do
stream
banter.
and he
No,
says, like-
no. You're gonna shut the fuck up and listen to me. We're gonna do banter
No, I don't
topics,
think I
and we're
will.
gonna have fun. All right,
Let's just
I
play
think now's the
Pokemon
time for. I
Coliseum.
think now's the time for a voice actor.
Grant. We don't have time for Pokemon Coliseum. We have to fucking finish Ace Attorney 4 Case 4. All right.
No, let's just not do this.
Yeah.
God, imagine if we just pivoted to Power Washing Simulator.
Hey,
I mean-
Grant, do you know the day's Wordle?
Today's Wordle.
Yeah.
Come.
With
Where's the extra
3
letters?
M's or 4 M's.
Two U's, two M's.
I see. Do you guys have a
The
Wordle
Phoenix
loadout of
will
words that you
continue
use?
until morale improves.
I don't play it.
Zach,
was
what's
it-
your
what was the
typical
question?
like Wordle starting moves?
Gosh, I used to have a strategy back when I was doing it every day. I can't remember because it's like R, S, T, L, N, E are the most common letters of the
Yeah,
English
Arl Stein.
alphabet. Yeah, correct. So I tried to remember what it was. I think it was stare. Stare. I think was my number one. Always, I would always start with that and then work from there.
I start with 3 words. I use raise, chomp, and blunt.
Nice. I like Chomp.
I remember what's his face? Fucking it's the YouTuber that you like, Adrian. Doug.
Doug?
Yeah, Doug. Where like when he used to do Wordle every once in a while, he started with Cox. No, sorry, Dix.
Nice.
Dicks.
Yikes.
Am I done with this already? Really?
I don't know. What was he saying?
Oh, I'm not fucking paying attention. You think I have the wherewithal to pay attention to this shit, Grant?
Are we doing banter or not, Zach?
I said we were doing banter, and then you let
Get outta
Adrian,
here.
and then you let Adrian fucking.
And then you!
You!
Okay. God, I have to scroll so far back.
What would you do if you made a song that was forever associated with one specific instrument for the rest of eternity?
You have
I'd
an
start
example?
selling video game consoles that I didn't build.
As I say, I don't think I've ever. I think whenever anyone thinks of the sound of a steel drum, they do think of you from Soldier Boy.
Oh, Soulja Boy, right? The Soulja game console. My bad.
Yeah.
Zach, spectacular game, aka I talked about Bioshock Infinite for 80 minutes. It's posted April 9th of 2020.
2023.
2023. Wait, actually, what?
It's over a year old, man. We don't. It's been a long time since we had a good banter session, huh?
It actually is
Wait,
2023.
I was gonna say I was joking, but yeah, fair.
I do actually remember like the emotion that I was feeling when I wrote this banter topic. This was during a period of time where like a bunch of like video game like retrospective reviewers essentially were going back to Bioshock Infinite and like doing it again. And the long and the short of it was that like predominantly like all of these different channels were like yeah, this game is spectacular in the sense that it is a spectacle, right? It's essentially just fireworks going off 24/7. But in terms of like actual gameplay and narrative and like anything of substance, it was very lacking, is what they were saying. But it was just like, it was one of those things where, I don't know, I thought it was very interesting of like, a lot of people in the comments were like, yeah, in retrospect, going back to this game, it's definitely not as good as I remember it being, but it's still not bad. Like, the spectacle buoys it to a certain degree above where it actually should have been if it was less, like, if it was made worse, I guess. And I don't know, I just wanted to ask, I mean, once again, this was obviously over a year ago, so this would have been well before me starting my job at Cisco, right? So I don't know. I just wanted to have a conversation about, like, I don't know, do you guys have anything that's kind of like that, where it's like, you still like it because it's a spectacle, but when you actually sit down and think about it, the thing isn't actually that good?
Well, I want to say two things. One, I do want to preface, but I do think that from my 40 seconds of knowing you, Zach, I do think that one of the things that you prioritize in a lot of cases is spectacle. I do think that you like spectacle a lot.
How so?
I think that you are willing to sacrifice a lot of logic for the purpose of spectacle. Like,
I think you're referencing
cool.
like, I think you're referencing like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I don't necessarily disagree, I guess, but it's just like, I do still value substance over spectacle. Like, we literally just finished a playthrough of Return to the Obra Dinn, which is my 6th time playing that game. And that game is no spectacle whatsoever. You know what I mean?
But then I think in the case of, maybe not games, but I think in other media, because like Redline, Zach, that is spectacle.
Redline has fucking substance, though. It is a good racing movie.
I'm just saying, I think that, Zach, you really value when something is cool and conceptually has a lot of like spectacle, and like, that's so cool, and that is more important to you sometimes than like, oh, this like logically makes sense from a storytelling perspective.
I mean, once again, I don't wholly disagree, because it's like, I don't know, like what was that new King Kong Godzilla movie? What was that called again? Was it Kong X?
King Kong Goes to the Supermarket.
Yeah, whatever. Like, that movie was like just dumb fun. You know what I mean? And I really liked that movie. Obviously not as much as Godzilla -1, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, there's definitely stuff in there that's cool. Oh, hello, thank you for the follow. I should really change my follow notifications, that way I can actually read what the fuck it says, because I can never read who's following the channel.
But yeah, I think that is one of the that is one of a handful of things that Zach has a normie touch for, which is a love of spectacle.
Hello, lawyer dude. Real Matt on guard. It's a great name, by the way. I don't know. Are you... By the way, I do want to reiterate, like... Or not reiterate, but I do want to inquire. Are you saying this, like, in an accusational sense, or are you just saying it as an observation?
I'm saying it as I think that's your personal taste. I think it's an observation that I've made where, like, you really do like when something is, like, super cool.
I can't disagree. I do like when something's super fucking
Zach
cool.
does like cool stuff. Wow.
Zach loves and screams about shit
Number
that is, like, cool.
no,
Like,
the third policy of my I was gonna say regime.
Whoa.
There it is.
Yeah, the
Wait
truth
until he
comes
releases
out.
manifesto, everyone.
The third policy of my administration: everything has to be cool as fuck.
Like, what's that? What was that one game, like Beautiful 101 or something?
Wonderful 101.
Wonderful.
That game was like 90% spectacle.
Well, the gameplay was also pretty decent. It was made. It was
fine.
literally made for a different console where you could actually like draw on the tablet screen in order to, you know, play the game. But you know, it's obviously spectacle because it's a fucking platinum game, right? But then, you know, I guess like Nier Automata is also a platinum game, but that game's really good. So I don't know. I like the more examples that you bring up, the more I agree with you. But I do still very much, because like there's a lot of gosh, like how do I phrase it? There's a lot of stuff that I would consider like normie spectacle that I just don't like. I guess, you know, like fucking any Call of Duty game.
Well, I think for you specifically, for something to qualify as spectacle, it has to be like a little bit avant-garde. It has to be a little bit out of like the conventional normie thing. It has to have some sense of like conceptual elevation to truly count for you. When it does, it's like it feels like it's candy to you.
I guess that could, because going back to like Grant's example of like Redline has some of the most drop dead beautiful gorgeous animation ever, so it's like that definitely helps. And also the soundtrack is fucking sick and yada yada, like so on and so forth. And so it's like, okay, I can see what you're saying there, and I'm trying to think of like some of the other examples. Like JoJo's obviously has like this really cool stand system that you can like latch onto.
System.
It is a system. It is a system.
It's a system. It has consistent.
It has
rules
more
like
fucking rules than
does.
Nen, Saba. But anywho,
The men?
Nen is the magic system in Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, I thought you said men.
No, Nen.
was like,
Any
what?
N. Nen. The Nen system. Am I not allowed to fucking pursue the psyche locks yet? Or is that what I do? The
just to give you a
for?
quick JoJo like brain exercise, Zach. Can you name a rule about stands in JoJo that is never once broken?
A rule about stands that is never once broken. I will say that most rules have at least one exception, because that's typically like, that's why that guy is like particularly interesting. Like Notorious B.I.G., the stand only activates after the stand user dies, and that's like breaking a rule, but it's more of an exception rather than just like throwing away the rule, I guess. I don't know. Grant, can you think of any stands that are both long range and super powerful without, like, while also being completely controllable one-to-one? I don't think so.
Isn't there that one that just remakes the entire universe?
I mean, you could be talking about like 4 different stands, and I mean, like those ones are weird, because there's a lot of those that are like that, where it's like they're either like end of part protagonist stands or like the enemy, like the main bad guy's stand, and those ones are just like you gotta crank that shit up to 11 so that way things seem really intense, right? But I mean, like that's typically a rule. Like I can't think of an obvious example off the top of my head where it's like the physical strength of a stand is directly inverse of its range, right? Like Star Platinum is crazy strong, crazy fast, but he can only really like get like 2 feet away from Jotaro's body at any given time. So it leads to like
Starfinger.
Well, Zoom Finger that one time, and that was a reference to, or like Starfinger was a reference to Zoom Finger. So I mean, but then he never does it again because it was just a reference, right?
Zoom Punch.
Zoom Punch. But like I don't know. I was always surprised that Star Platinum does it just like fucking Sonic Punch, like fucking what's his name from Street Fighter, Guile. Like I was very surprised while I was watching part 3 that like he doesn't just punch so hard so fast that he creates a sonic boom that like shoots out like a bullet. But then again, I guess that wasn't really a concept until after Guile, I guess, and Guile was inspired by Polnareff, so that's a different thing. Anywho.
Yeah, like you said, systems.
I don't understand why you're saying that.
Me neither. Anyway, let's move on. The other thing I want to say, going all the way back to the other thing, was game that is buoyed by spectacle. I'll extend it to game that is buoyed by a thing. And for me, it's Baldur's Gate 3 and Legacy. Because I definitely would not play Baldur's Gate 3 that much if it was not associated with the other 2 Baldur's Gate games.
I don't know if Baldur's Gate 3 is mostly buoyed by its legacy, though.
Well,
like it could definitely be buoyed for you.
I'm
like,
not saying that applies for everyone. I'm saying
you're saying for you it's buoyed because you played 1 and 2.
Because you said that was the case for for yourself. So that's my thing for Baldur's Gate 3.
Did I say that?
You implied that it was like that was your opinion on it.
So okay, just to clarify, the thing I was talking about was that I had watched like this was once again like over a year ago at this point or whatever, where it was like I had watched like a series of like retrospectives on BioShock Infinite, and they all came to like the same conclusion of like this actually wasn't as good, it was mostly just spectacle, yada yada. And then people in the comments were saying, when I originally played this, I loved this game, but going back to it and playing it again, I realized that it wasn't as good as I thought it was, and it was mostly buoyed by the spectacle. That's where the idea came from. For me personally, I will fully admit to being super bought in on the hype of like Columbia, the idea of like the city in the sky sort of thing. But I will give myself a pat on the back where I recognized super early on that they were just fucking lying, or that they had just straight up lied in all of the marketing material for BioShock Infinite, and that like torpedoed my opinion of that game like super quickly. So, good for me.
Damn.
You hated it before. It was cool to hate it.
I hated it because I already knew. I think his name. What I don't know. Maybe somebody can look it up. I think wasn't it Cliff Bleszinski or something like that. It was like some popular game director was doing all of the BioShock games, and like I already had kind of a sour opinion on him because he had like a couple bad interviews in a row. And like the main thing that pissed me off was that in all the marketing material for BioShock Infinite, like prior to its release, they showed this thing where like your companion character, Elizabeth, I believe. She would have the abilities to like tear holes open in reality, and it would create like mini set pieces, right? Like they show actively in a trailer where she rips open a tear in the space-time continuum, and a train plows through like a building and defeats kills a bunch of enemies. And it was like, oh, that's super cool. I really like that. That is absolutely nowhere, and nothing is even remotely close to that in the actual game, because that was just pre-rendered nonsense. You know what I mean?
I think I remember the exact footage you're talking about, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be, because I only watched a little bit of Mark material. I believe in the trailer referencing, she opens a portal briefly, sees a train oncoming, and then closes it immediately.
Maybe it was something along those lines. I thought it was a thing where like she opened up something and it led to, because I remember there was like another one where like she opened up like a portal and it showed the classic BioShock lighthouse, and then a bunch of water rushed in and like knocked a bunch of enemies over. Like that was like another example. So I remember that being like a mechanic that was actively supposed to be used in combat. It was supposed to be a thing where it's like, oh, keep this in mind for later type stuff.
Maybe we're just thinking of different trailers or footage, but in any case,
that's what I was saying.
My understanding was that it sounded like you were presenting the thing about, oh, it was buoyed by spectacle as like a thing that you thought, not a thing that you read other people are thinking.
I mean, it's still an opinion that I hold. I know who was there in this room that day. I believe that it was Trucy. Do we agree? Because the thing that Meekins is arguing right now is that it was in like Zach disappeared and he doesn't know how. And my theory is that it was Mr. Hat, which means that Trucy was in the room. Everybody agree?
How much do you care about not losing HP?
I care more than 0%.
Well,
do you have the walkthrough open?
No.
Oh, well, okay. Is this you asking me, do I want you to open up the walkthrough?
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it. It's like, once again, it's like, I want to get to the end of this, but I also just kind of want to enjoy the story, I guess. I almost like I hate to give Mikey the satisfaction of agreeing with him, but I do kind of understand where Mikey's coming from, where it's like Mikey hasn't been on stream because he can't stand Ace Attorney, and it's like I think Ace Attorney is much better in summary than it is in real time, if that makes sense.
You gotta prevent Trucy.
So I was right.
Yeah.
You gotta prevent Trucy. And by the way, you could just tell me, am I right that it was Mr. Hat?
Yes, because that's the next psych lock.
Boom! Zach figured out a two-step psych lock.
Let's go.
Anyway, I want to mention that Baldur's Gate 3 for me is held up by Legacy, because otherwise I think it is a... I might have played it, I guess, just because it's a TTRPG video game implementation that I am familiar with. But otherwise, it's a very Larian TTRPG implementation. Like, it's full of Larianisms that really fucking piss me off and annoy me. And then, as much as I say that Baldur's Gate 3 is held by legacy for me, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are held up by nostalgia for me, because I admit that those age poorly, but I still like them. I don't know if I'm really drawn by spectacle, because I've never consistently been able to afford a thing that can render spectacle.
I mean, fair enough, I guess.
Damn.
That's super fair.
Like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Do you consider, like, cutting edge, realistic AAA graphics? Do you consider that to be spectacle?
Not necessarily, because like when The Witcher 3 originally came out, that was considered cutting edge, right? I guess like Cyberpunk 2077, very similar. Obviously, the initial release of that game notwithstanding, but it's just like, would I consider just hyper-realistic graphics to be spectacle? No, I think spectacle is like Jurassic Park 2. If that makes sense, where it's like there's not really a whole lot of substance there. It's mostly just like, oh, it looks exciting. If that makes any sense whatsoever. I'm hoping I'm making sense, but
I guess my experience would be like for Sonic games.
oh god, Grant, you're such a fucking genius. Did you watch the RT game video for Shadow the Hedgehog?
No.
Dude, you were the one who recommended me RT Game. I don't know if you still watch him. Highly recommend that video because he's fucking miserable the entire time. And it's exactly what we're talking about here, where he's like, when I was a kid, I remember thinking this game was awesome because he had guns and things were blowing up and everything was super intense.
And he swore.
Right, and it was like crazy. And then he comes back and he plays it as like an actual like capital A adult. And he's like, dude, this game fucking sucks. You know,
straight up like a similar experience with Shadow of the Hedgehog. Like I had it as a kid and didn't really play it too much, but then Sonic games are cool. I played Sonic Heroes a lot more, but then going back as an adult, I'm like, dude, these games fucking suck. Holy shit.
It's like oh, sorry, I'll let you go.
What do you think is the percentage, however small, that like kids who love those kind of games as kids and they're adults, parents who are like, I don't get it. What do you think are the percentage of those adults who genuinely like who didn't like not get it, but genuinely just thought like this game fucking sucks? Like at
you
the
mean
time.
back when they were a kid?
Well, like I'm trying to think of like, because like, you know, the image of like the kid being like, oh, I love this game, and the parent being like, it's just a video game, I don't get it. What percentage of those parents do you think were into like, no, I get it, it just sucks?
Okay, quick clarification question. Are you talking about parents of the past or just parents in general?
Parents of like the past.
Okay, parents of the past, I think parents of the past saw any video game as pretty much the exact same thing. Like I had an aunt who thought every game, even if it was fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, she thought it was Pokemon. Because she's right. She's right. But so to answer your question, I definitely think that there is a non-insignificant percentage of parents that thought that all video games were just stupid. You know? Now how many of those parents actually recognize this is a shit video game? I don't know. I would say very small. Like they would also have to play video games.
I was gonna say, do you think it's like more or less than like 5%?
It would be less than 5% of all parents who have kids that have played a video game. I would say of the past, less than 5%. Nowadays, I would probably say around 15 to 20%.
Do you think more or less than 1% for back in the day?
I would say roughly around 1%.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's just based on vibes, obviously. But it's just like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it because like the reason I asked for like clarification on the day. By the way, do you think that he actually just escaped into lobby number 1?
I think they teleported.
Yeah, magic. I agree. I think he just instant transmission the fuck out of there.
He flashed out.
But the what was I gonna say? I think nowadays, because like I'm not even a parent, but I will just straight up tell my nephew when it's like, dude, I think this game fucking sucks, and he's like, yeah, I know. You know? Like he was telling me that him and one of his friends from school, who's I think they're now going to the same high school, so he's really excited about that. But one of his friends from school, excuse me, were playing this game called like Clap Clap or something like that, and it was like a really shitty horror game where you're being chased around a house where the monster knows how to operate your clap lights. Remember that thing that you used to be able to do where you could buy like a little modifier and you would go and your lamps would turn on and off and stuff?
And then your butler would come into your room and turn it off for you.
Great, yes. But anywho, so the idea is that it's a horror game where the monster knows how to do that, right? And it was like...
The monster knows how to clap?
The monster knows how to
cheeks?
turn the lights off. And so it's like the monster will like only chase after you when you can't see it. So like the monster will reach from behind the like around a door and go, and your character needs to fucking freak out and clap twice or whatever. I want to reiterate, by the way, the reason I'm talking about this at all is because it sucked. And I told this to my nephew, like he showed me a video of it, and I was like, dude, you know this game is like terrible, right? And he's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's great.
Listen, sometimes you just gotta consume slop. You just have to consume slop sometimes.
And to be fair, like there's a thing where it's like, you know, it's so bad it's good, right? Like that's totally a valid thing to like pursue. But it's also at the same point, like you gotta like, you know, the thing that I use a lot of food analogies, obviously, and it's like I feel like most consumer, like just regular normie shit is like junk food, right? Where it's designed purely to get you to buy it, doesn't actually provide you any sort of nutrients. Like it fills your stomach but doesn't enrich you any other way other than that. And it's like the stuff that my nephew is into right now is like eating styrofoam peanuts, where it's like I'm pretty sure this is actively poisoning you, but you're having fun, so whatever, I guess. You know?
Having a good time.
Grant, do you have an example of something that you remember enjoying, but when you look back on it, it was spectacle?
I already said it.
Yeah,
We're
but
not. Bro is not listening.
Bro wasn't even listening. Christ.
I'm not allowed to ask for more. Like, okay, if you want to jump off the topic, that's totally fine. We only covered one in the last like 45 minutes, but I don't know. I was having a good time.
What was it, Zach? What
We
did I
each
say?
had one. What are you
I don't remember.
talking about, Zach?
I remember you agree with RT about Shadow the Hedgehog.
Because I was the one who brought it up.
Well, didn't. No, I think
Did we
you
mention
did.
it?
I think
Didn't
you
I
did,
bring
and
that
I
up? Is that
asked
what
you
you're
if you
gonna
saw the Shadow the Hedgehog video. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because I had brought up Sonic games.
When was the last good Sonic game? I guess it was Mania.
I mean,
Well, what's the new
people
one?
like Frontiers.
Which one's Frontiers?
That's the open
The
world
open
one.
world.
Is that the open? What's the one that you got to make your own Sonic OC?
Forces.
Not
Sonic
Frontiers.
Forces, you're
Got
gonna have a
it.
good time.
Ooh.
I mean, people liked Frontiers, but like I don't know. I feel very similar to that game that I do about fucking Legends Arceus, right? Where it's like a fun game entirely held within fucking razor wire. You know? Like the game is constructed out of literal piss and shit.
But it's good.
Yeah.
Yakuza slamming fist on table gif is going triple platinum on Tumblr, by the way.
I saw that.
I wonder
why.
Who could say?
Weird. Yeah.
Also, I saw a statistic about assassination. Someone responded, Rasputin George should not be accounted for average assassination attempt after first assassination attempt.
It's true.
Rasputin George.
The thing that I'm confused about, I guess, is that there must be something that I can present. I didn't click that. Oh, it's showing me a new thing. Interesting. Let's go to the Borscht Bowl.
Oh, I just got reminded of a fucking golden Germa clip that I love dearly to my heart, and I think I referenced it on stream like years ago, but like, God, I love this clip, and it's never been more relevant. Yeah.
Missed that one. Try another.
Try another.
You missed that one. Try another. You missed that one. Try another.
Grant, let's
Not
do.
shoot. Try another.
Grant, let's do another banter topic.
Running it
Oh my
back.
God, guys! Did you hear? Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock.
Whoa!
Zach, from April 11th of 23, the grotesque nature of user-generated AI art card game.
Okay, so this is obviously like pretty old. The
sounds familiar.
over under of this topic was that this was during the the first initial wave of like AI stuff where people were just trying to use it to make money, obviously. And it was a very interesting period of time because obviously I follow like board game Kickstarters pretty closely and whatnot. There was an absolute fucking deluge of Kickstarters where it was just clearly every single asset was made using like fucking whatever mid-journey nonsense because everything was in that like uncanny valley space, right, where the only thing AI knew how to make was big titty anime girls, like, but it couldn't make a hand to save its life. And it was all stuff like that. And it was a very interesting thing because we see this now. Because like nowadays, now that we've like existed in the cesspool of AI for a while, we understand that what it is, if like for people who are actually trying to use AI art and make something, it turns into this thing where it's like they make something and it's not quite what they were thinking. So they have to remake it and edit it and remake it and remake it. And I'm like, dude, at this point, just fucking learn how to do art. Like, you're already putting in the fucking time. You're just putting it in the wrong place at this point, right? But anywho, so this is actually a very interesting topic in retrospect, because what I originally wanted to say was just talk about this thing where it's like, oh, there's all this, like, AI, board games going up, and I was, like, pissed about it or whatever. But now, with, now that all of those things failed, because, like, fucking 99% of them all failed, obviously, because no one wants to buy that shit. When you look at it, you can see people like try to redo a Kickstarter over and over where it's like, oh, well, maybe it works with this, maybe it works with that. And they ended up putting just as much time as a normal person puts into like their first Kickstarter project, but they were at like iteration 25. You know what I mean? Because they just kept putting it through the machine and make it better. So, I don't know. This is obviously, like, very much an AI topic, obviously. But I just thought it was an interesting phenomenon, I guess, especially in retrospect. By the way, is this guy not just Zach Gramery, by the way?
I don't know. I'm like 90% sure that you've already described this exact thing, except you also had a specific anecdote. Like, you mentioned a specific board game that this happened with.
I couldn't remember.
I'm pretty sure you've already brought up this thing, and I don't know if Grant was here for it, though, so I guess Grant can speak on it. Speak truth to Zach.
Speak truth to this nonsense.
Also, here you go. It's a good image.
That's a fat ass squirrel.
That's a big squirrel.
That's a fucking round ass squirrel right there.
That's a big boy.
That is a squirrel grenade. That's a grenade item with a squirrel skin. The squirrel's like, we're out of grenades.
Where did all my grenades go?
The squirrel in the corner. Zach, if you were if you were the same person, but you're really attached to a specific hand grenade, like that hand grenade, and you saw, and then went missing, you saw the squirrel outside in your backyard, what would you do?
Like, as if the squirrel. So you're implying that the squirrel ate my hand grenade?
Well, you don't know, your hand grenade's missing, and there's just a really suspicious round squirrel outside.
You need to explain why I'm attached to this hand grenade.
Because it could blow up at any second and kill people in your family, including you.
So I'm attached to it. So instead of getting rid of this thing, I want to keep it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess in the context of that, the most active and mobile this hand grenade will ever be is inside this fucking squirrel. So I definitely try to stop the squirrel at minimum.
Stop the squirrel. That's your election motto. Stop the squirrel. 2024.
Stop the squirrel.
Stop the squirrel.
Blow up.
I think that was wasn't that Trump's motto too? Stop the squirrel.
Stop the squirrel.
Anyway, what was the? Oh yeah, the Kickstarter AI art thing. That sounds about right. I think people are slowly realizing that AI art doesn't produce value out of thin air. It produces nothing out of thin air, and in fact, it removes a bunch of power expenditure from thin air.
Well, because as a person who has like their toe in like many different avenues, and now especially as a person who has worked for almost a year in a company that is investing super hard into like AI stuff, the thing that I find the most fascinating is that one of the like realms, I guess, where AI was being super heavily adopted all over the place was in like computer science and engineering, right? The idea being like, oh, I'm going to describe what I want the program to do, because that's what you do in software engineering to begin with. Is you're supposed to describe like a pseudo of like what your program is supposed to do logically. So they were like, oh, let's just take a pseudo, put it into a program like Copilot, and then it will just produce the code for us. And hilariously, I wonder who could have possibly guessed this. When they do that, it spits out code, sure, but then the code has just, it doesn't work quite right, or it has a bunch of just like really fundamental errors, or like the code that it spits out runs like super inefficiently, you know? Like just thinking of like I don't know, just thinking of like people what the fuck happened to my camera? God damn it. Just thinking of
Doug made an exact video about this.
Sorry?
Doug made an exact video about this, by the way.
About him having to like go back and redo stuff over and over.
He specifically made an entire video where it's like, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to code Pong. Or not Pong, it was a snake.
Oh, I do remember that video. That was a good video.
He spent like half the video desperately trying to tell ChatGPT to rewrite the thing and fix everything, and then at the end he made something he probably could have made himself in like 10 minutes.
And I guess that's kind of my point, where it's just like the further we get into like the AI stuff, because it's obviously just like gold rush. Like it's obviously just, you know,
it's a bubble, as they say.
Yes, of course. And you know, it does suck that I now work at a company that was at the exact center of the last .com bubble, but now we're just in the AI bubble, and that's different this time, I promise.
Sorry, I'm surprised that you work at that company. It sounds like you're still here in Silicon Valley, Zach.
Well, I guess emotionally I am. Can you like focus at all? Like, what the fuck is wrong? What the fuck is wrong with this camera?
How dare you ask? Oh, okay, never mind.
No,
I don't understand, because I remember last time I told you guys that like the reason why it would go blurry like this is because it was actually trying to focus on like the curtain behind me or whatever, because like
your evil thoughts
yeah.
Right, of course.
You don't remember that?
Thank you. Well, anywho, I don't know. I hope the camera will go back to being normal. For anybody who's watching, which I think is maybe Saba and Silveroon, just imagine that I'm a dream. just imagine I'm a figment of your imagination.
He's
just
a flashback.
That Zach is thinking evil thoughts about how, like, oh, you know what should happen? I should kick another puppy today. Zach is trying to. Zach in his head is trying to figure out the evil coefficient of whether it's better to kick one puppy repeatedly or kick several different puppies individually.
No, you gotta take a dog by the tail and whip them around like a shot put, and then just throw them straight up in the air as hard as you can, and hope they splat on the way down.
Jesus.
Well, there you go. There's Zach's evil thoughts as proof.
Next banter topic. Zach from... Hey, we're in 2024 now. January 34th.
Wow.
What the fuck? That? How did you get up here? Hello? What the... yeah. Hi, Hammy. Hi. How's it?
Hammy is the name of Zach's hog.
Fucking the dog.
She's hog.
The dog
How'd
made
you get
it
up here?
Wow.
The dog made it up the stairs somehow, and I don't know. I guess I could put him back downstairs, but I don't know if I could stop him from coming up again. Hi. Haha, the camera can't even see him because it's so blurry. I mean, if you want to hang out, dog, you're totally allowed to, but you got, like, I got another fucking hour and a half until I can put you out. Hopefully you're okay with just hanging out.
Because I don't remember what. I'm looking about it. I don't remember what was Two Guards the sequel about. There's a tongue and a nose one. I don't remember what that was about.
You wanted to do a bit where it was the two guards where one only says yes and the other one only says no, except one of them can only smell and one of them can only taste.
Oh.
That was the bit you wanted to do, and I fucking shut it down, and then you tried to bring it back, and I shut it down again, and now I think you're lying, and you're trying to bring it back again, and I'm shutting that shit
that's
down.
not what it was, though. That feels
I
like...
remember Long Day at the Cum Factory.
That's a different one.
That's a different thing.
I'm trying to remember, what the hell was the tongue in... Because it definitely wasn't just the thing, because I feel like I wouldn't have brought it up if it was that simple.
Are you fucking shitting me? Yes, you would.
Two Guards is the best bit of the century.
It's the best bit of 2023 for sure.
One of them only says yes, and the other one only says no.
Yes.
No.
It's universal. It applies to everything. All right, sorry.
Zach,
Continue searching.
Why is it always me?
Because you put so many in.
The other people can put stuff in, you know?
We do.
God damn it.
On average, is a rare thing better than a common thing?
Yeah, so I think I put better in quotes there, I think.
You did.
Yeah, because that was this came from like a conversation that I was having with my dad. I think this was actually around the time of the solar eclipse, I think, maybe, where I remember having a conversation with my dad, whatever, like one thing led to another. And it was the idea of like, if you made a tool, right, like a pickaxe, Minecraft style, out of steel is pretty common compared to, let's say, fucking uranium, right? But obviously the steel pickaxe is more efficient and works better than a uranium pickaxe, obviously. So this was more just like a thought experiment, if I recall correctly, where it was just the idea of like, if you take the concept of rare things, not just like things you can make things out of, like I just described, but just like rare things in general, are they, quote unquote, better than common things, or do we assign them value purely because they are harder to attain, right?
I mean, some diseases are rare.
I guess that's true.
I think humankind has made a lot of strides to make things that are good as common as possible.
Yeah,
food,
I could
shelter,
definitely agree with
water.
that, I think.
I think that part of it is also your definition of better is vague on purpose, because like rare things a lot of times are certainly more valuable, but doesn't mean they're more useful.
Hey, what are you doing over there? You get the fuck out of there. Stop chewing. Dude, just calm the fuck down. Just lay down. Where's your bone? All right, give me 1 second. I don't. Okay, real quick. Should I put him downstairs or should I leave him upstairs?
Should you put him down?
Zach asking Chad. Chad, should I put him down?
Chad, let me know.
Well, it's not like my parents would notice for a week. They don't take
Someone
care of
clip
this
that and send that to Animal Protective Services.
I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna let you stay up here because clearly you want to be up here. But I'm gonna go get your phone.
He's putting it down.
Putting the dog down. That's a resilient. Zach's done this a couple times on stream already. That's a resilient dog.
It's what doesn't kill it makes it stronger.
True. That dog is like which one's the one that Superman fights? Is it Doomsday or Doomsday, right?
He fights Doomsday. Oh, you're saying the original concept of Doomsday of like killing a baby.
Every time you kill him, he becomes immune to the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not true anymore? Did they change that?
They changed it, I believe.
What did they change it to? Or did they make it where they were like, okay, well, Superman has like punch, blow, and laser. But he already killed him with those three, so now what?
Shit!
Shit!
I want to say they changed it. Maybe let me look.
I was gonna say, 'cause I feel like if they changed it, it'd be so that they could have Superman punch him to death some more. But then, like,
Yeah.
that defeats the whole point, doesn't it? It's like how Batman didn't always used to have a no-kill rule, and then they realized, wait, we need to start reusing these designs.
We need to appeal to kids, and parents don't like him having a gun. He would just murk people.
Let's say it was that, and also, like, we need to be able to reuse these villain designs because they are too hard to come up with and too time-consuming. We need to pump these out more, faster.
Let's see. Though by the time of its destruction, Kryptonians have long since abandoned the worship of their old gods. They maintain belief in a devil figure, that of the beast that would eventually become known as Doomsday. Created by a Kryptonian scientist.
Speaking of Doomsday, he's back on stream. Back from killing his dog. There he is, everyone.
It's fucking. I don't know how he got up, because anyway, long story short, we have a gate. We tie the gate up so that way he can't get upstairs. And originally, we just had it tied anywhere to the posts on the side of the staircase. But then he discovered that if he pushes hard enough, he can, like, bend the gate so that way he can slip in and get upstairs. So we started then tying it both at the top and the bottom so it wouldn't bend in either direction. And still tied exactly the same way as I left it when I went upstairs originally. So I have no idea how he made it upstairs, but whatever. He's just.
Do you think he just got the ability to fly?
I genuinely think he jumps over it sometimes. Because I know he can jump. I know he can jump up onto the back of the couch from the floor. Because I've seen him do that.
Vertical leap.
20-foot vertical leap straight up without bending his knees.
Without bending his knees.
The classic, yeah.
8-foot vertical leap.
Oh.
I like the way his face looks when like shows up on the screen. He's thinking about it, salivating. It's a classic of Bim Bam.
Anywho, well, were we on a banter topic or what was happening?
I mean, we were talking about the rarity thing.
Oh, were you guys still talking about that?
No, we were talking about Doomsday.
Okay, great, lovely.
Which leads into the next banter topic.
Oh, how about that?
How does the world end quickly? Quote unquote quickly, Zach?
Yeah, so this was another one. I was thinking of, I think this was like a couple days after the one I had just posted, where I was thinking of, it feels like the world is collapsing around us. I feel like most people agree with this sentiment. But at the same time, I feel like most people just kind of like, it's like a frog boiling in water, right? The idea of like if you start it with room temperature and then slowly crank it up, the frog doesn't panic. And so I was wondering, like, can you come up with a comprehensive list of all of the general ways in which the world ends quickly, right? Because like a fucking missile strike or like war starting, like that will end like an entire world super quickly. A natural disaster will end somebody's world quickly. Like that is something that you cannot ignore as being a thing that occurred. And I was just wondering, is there anything else on that list that would qualify as like quote unquote the world ending?
Me when I don't get my daily mug root beer.
I was gonna say, you say a missile striking. Do you mean like instant, like intercontinental nuclear war, or do you mean like someone's world ending being like someone just dies?
Well, because when I say world, I don't mean the planet, obviously, right? I mean like a large group / demographic of people all having their entire lives upended like all at once, essentially, right? That is what that in my mind, and maybe you disagree because maybe that's not what your definition of quote unquote the world ending is, but in my mind that's what I think of when I think of the world ending, you know?
A global pandemic.
Guess what, Grant? I don't think that counted as the world ending because nobody fucking did anything about it. Or at least like the fact that things quote unquote went back to normal after a once in a century pandemic is crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I remember when the pandemic was first like really kicking off, like post March 2020, where people were people were posting on Reddit being like, "Man, I can't wait for this all to be over and nothing to have changed in order to fix this in the future."
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's the question.
I mean, I don't know. Are we sticking to like? I assume we're sticking to like things that are feasibly realistic.
I mean, yeah, I guess, because obviously you could say like alien invasion, which arguably I would say like that's war, right? But
Asteroid.
would you define an asteroid as a natural disaster, by the way?
Probably, I guess.
I guess that kind of counts, right? Because obviously when I think of natural disaster, I think of like typhoon, hurricane, volcano, stuff like that. But an asteroid is natural, so Deep Impact was a natural disaster.
What's Oh man. I was about to hang on. Actually, let me look something up real quick. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, never mind. I was about to say, what's bigger than an asteroid? Oh, well, obviously an aster, but that's not a thing.
Isn't that weird ghost guy from Undertale?
Yeah.
No, that's Snaps block.
That's Sans.
Apparently, aster is Greek for star. How about that?
Ooh.
And an asteroid is sent from asteroides, which is Greek for
Feeling the
starlight.
aster.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's Antarctic prion disease unleash.
Prion disease.
Prion disease. I guess, like, I don't know. I guess just, like, kind of trying to tap into that, because this would have been early 2024, I guess, where it's just, like, trying to tap back into that, like, emotional state that I was in back then. I was just so upset that, like, no one would recognize that, like, the world is changing, not for the better, you know? Like, because most people just kind of clock in for work every day, go home, eat dinner, and then go to bed, and then just repeat until they die, you know? And, like, I don't know. I was just really upset by the fact that no one would take anything seriously, I guess. And so I was just trying to, like, brainstorm, like, what would it need to be in order for people to recognize that shit has hit the fan? So I guess you could get into the idea of fictional stuff, because, like, fucking zombie apocalypse would probably do it, you know?
Some
you know
say
what?
that with current politics, we already have a zombie apocalypse. Ooh.
Well, like, could you imagine how far? Fucking imagine. I don't know if either of you read World War Z, but like, I feel like a modern World War Z would definitely have an interview with a person post zombie pandemic where like it was mostly handled, where they were just talking about like, it wasn't really that bad, and then like a couple generations later, it's like, it didn't happen. You know, zombie apocalypse deniers.
Oh god.
This is completely unrelated, but that weirdly reminded me of like there was this like comic that I saw on Reddit, I think, and it was just like it was this like giant like ruined building. It was like the corpse of some giant horrific eldritch deity in like some ruined building area. And then there was just like on a small section, like zoom in, there was like a hazmat like cleanup crew, and one of them had a flamethrower, and there was an interview, and it was like, so how does it feel having to kill Nazguroth every day? It's like, well, you know it is. If we don't kill him, he resurrects, but, you know, modern technology is pretty great and all, so it pays pretty well. And then he like an eyeball splurts up and blinks, and he like shoots with a flamethrower, and then it stops, and it's like, but it's kind of boring and repetitive every day. The eyeball like shows and blinks again, just flamethrowers it again.
The idea of something so eldritch and terrifying being reduced to something mundane.
It was like just I thought that was a funny concept of like, oh yeah, this thing is immortal, but we have subdued it entirely. We just have to keep it subdued forever and ever.
Yeah.
Fucking what's his face? Not Sisyphus. God, who gave fire to mankind?
Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus getting eaten by the eagles every day.
Yeah. By the way, I want a quick banter topic. What are your guys' opinions on? I feel like there's like a new genre of game that has emerged in the last few years of like getting over it, like where it's like difficult platformer with a specific conceit that is really popular on streaming.
Chained together.
Together, Sisyphus, like getting over it.
There's the one that the Game Grumps recently played where it's literally getting over it, but you have a double barrel shotgun instead.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, I feel like there's a lot of those games lately. And
I mean, to be fair, like, you know, if it's popular and... Because, like, I feel like
if it's popular, it's good.
No, what I mean to say is that... No, but what I mean to say... I mean, clearly I'm not the person to share that opinion, but, like, Like, I don't know, I'm thinking of, God, what was that one from a while ago? Only Up? Like, that game was literally just an asset flip, and it fucking pissed me off, right? That it was as popular as it was. But at the same time, it's like, streamer ain't streamer bait, you know what I mean? Like, it's always gonna work in some way, shape, or form. Do I wish that these people would dedicate themselves to something a little bit more creative and with a little bit more integrity? Maybe, but at the same time, like, who am I to tell them what they can and cannot make, I guess? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with the, you know...
Survivor's Lights.
Or whatever. Well, that, but the...
Mascot horror.
Yeah, mascot horror with Five Nights at Freddy's, and then you just see a fuck ton of them, and they're still coming out. It just following the trend, I guess, you know? If it works, it's like, I can do it too! Jump on the bandwagon quickly before it fades!
Well, because the bandwagon is always interesting, right? Because it's like, Five Nights at Freddy's was made because Scott Cawthon had a particular art style, which he wanted to be engaging and, like, comforting, but innately came off as unsettling. Right?
Yeah, people were like, damn, this shit's scary.
Right, going back to, like, that old, like, religious chipmunk game or whatever that he made, where it's like, it was supposed to be cutesy and adorable, but it was actually fucking terrifying. And it's like, what the hell is this? So it's like, that's, like, so Five Nights at Freddy's spawned because of his unique, like, limitations as a 3D artist. But then it like, spawned this whole subgenre or whatever, right? Vampire Survivors likes are very similar, where it's like, Vampire Survivors was a very simple idea, which admittedly wasn't even the first one to do it. It was just the first one to popularize it. And so it's like,
right.
I feel like when there is a bandwagon, the first thing to make it popular typically gets a pass, I think, in most people's opinion. And then the vast majority of, you know, people who are just following the trend, they don't get as much of a pass, I guess, in, like, the public eye, where it's like, oh, this is just like a cheap cash grab. But at the same time, I do wonder, especially in the indie game space, which, once again, I'm obviously referring to, like, a lot of indie game stuff, where it's just like, I think it's a lot of people who have the ability to turn something over real quick, never really conceiving of the idea before. Because, like, thinking of, like, Chained Together. Like, Chained Together is obviously just only up, but with an extra little gameplay mechanic, right? Like, stapled to it. But it's like, it's actually really easy to make that game. Because it's mostly just 3D model placement. That's most of what the game is. So, I don't know. Like, do I, like, because I don't feel like, like, what was it? You remember back when, fucking Smash Ultimate was announcing, like, their roster and stuff, and it was like all the new characters were coming out, and people were getting upset because every time a character came out, it meant that the character that they wanted was less likely to show up, because it's like you have a limited number of space on the roster before they eventually stop. I don't feel like that's how this works for, like, I don't know, these bandwagon games, because, like, if you make 10,000 versions of fucking Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, 9,998 of them will just never see the light of day, and 2 of them will get popular every week. You know? I don't know. it's not really a self-correcting problem. I guess it's like a self-perpetuating like rash.
Cycle.
Well, it's a self-perpetuating rash in the sense of it being like it's annoying, and like I would prefer that. Like I don't know. Like obviously I talk about Northern Lion quite a bit. Like Northern Lion was so fucking dedicated to beating Sisyphus that he was refusing to play like actual video games. Not that Sisyphus isn't literally by definition a video game, but it's just streamer bait. There's not really any value to that game other than that. You know what I mean? And it was just like, you know, he didn't want to play anything else, so I guess that was his prerogative. But at the same time, it does chew up too much of my my Twitch timeline, I guess. My Twitch front page. Hey, dog. Oh, sorry. God damn it. I was yelling at you. I apologize. I thought you were chewing on my fucking charging cable again. Don't lick my toes. Don't do that. Are you trying to tell me that you're thirsty? Because I don't have any water for you.
Time to put him down again.
I'll kill him.
Put him down.
Just lay down for a bit, alright? You'll be fine. Okay, trying to remember. Do I have enough information to do this? I'm gonna double check some of my other stuff first. Hi. Because I never actually got a psych lock for Drew Studio, and I feel like that's weird. Like I don't have to present something, do I? Oh, maybe I present to him the original. Wait, I never actually... Dude, what are you doing? Can you just fucking chill, dog? God, I wish we had a lazier dog. Did Grant say that he was going to get food?
I didn't hear anything about it. You know what? I don't think that you had exactly my painful amount of hours monthly, but I believe that you've played a decent amount. What's your opinion on the game overall?
Let me see. What is my hours in Baldur's Gate? I have just shy of 300 hours in Baldur's Gate.
I have 532 hours.
All right. Well, it's not a dick measuring contest.
Well, I wasn't going to bring up the specific number.
Well, I wanted to know it for like my own like reference. 500 hours is crazy though.
Dan counting. I'm playing it right now because I hate this game.
Which game? The game I'm streaming or the game you're playing?
Baldur's Gate 3. I hate this game. That's why I keep playing it.
I mean, I think the game is awesome. I just like I don't know. I just really don't like Act 3. I feel like I don't know. Maybe it'll be better when I'm kind of going through it with Saba. But, like, there's something where it's, like, it's crazy that I feel like as soon as you get to Baldur's Gate, I stop wanting to play. And it's not just because the campaign is super long. But I also can't, like, specifically, like, precisely identify what I don't like about Act 3. But, like, I fucking love Act 1. And even Act 2 is, like, fine as long as you get the fairy early. Right, like like, you know, do whatever you have to do to get the lantern from the spider guy and release the fairy. Then Act 2 becomes like more or less fine, but like I don't know. I feel like if Baldur's Gate 3 was just Act 1, I think which includes the stuff with the mountain pass, obviously. I feel like that game would be a fucking 10 out of 10, man. And I still think Baldur's Gate 3 is, like, super good. But, I don't know. It's just Act 3. It really kills it for me.
Technically speaking, the Mountain Pass is part of Act 2 because it progresses the Tieflings depending on whether you killed the goblins or not.
I don't disagree, but you know, it's I guess pre Shadowfell, obviously, or what is it called? Is it called Shadowfell?
Shadow Cursed Lands. The Shadowfell is a plane in the
Shadowfell is a plane. I forgot. Sorry. D&D shit is stupid.
The Shadowfell is a people, not a place. And the Thor Ragnarok plays in the background.
So, I don't know. Like, obviously, you vocalized your opinions on Baldur's Gate 3, and I know that you described like Larian-isms and whatnot, and I definitely like perceive them on occasion. But I feel like just like overall, pretty much overwhelmingly, just the like their efforts to handle the conceptual combinatorial explosion of like having the ability to do X, Y, and Z, and passing this role versus failing this role, like actually leading to significant like diversions in the story, I think is really interesting. And like characters like responding to X, Y, and Z, stuff like that. I don't know. I find that I inherently appreciate a lot of that stuff in a similar way to like I appreciate somebody climbing a mountain. You know, where it's like, I know that took a lot of effort.
I mean, I can appreciate a lot of stuff of the game, but, like, this is the thing that I think I disagree with a lot of the player base on, where, like,
Adrian, real quick, pause. It is the client, right? He's trying to... No. What is Misham hiding? He might be hiding the Forger, who is his daughter, right? Whatever, just tell me. Is it the Forger or the client?
The Forager.
Okay, his daughter. Got it. Thank you. Adrian's muted. It's just me. Hello. Psychologs? Ham, what are you doing over there?
Sorry, I got pulled away for something.
No, you're fine. Just give me 1 second. I gotta double check to make sure the dog's not electrocuting himself or something.
Okay.
You're fine. You're good. He brought his bone upstairs and was chewing it on the couch, so I couldn't tell whether or not he was chewing on the cushion. Anyway, sorry, you were saying?
What was I saying? Something about Baldur's Gate 3, I think. Oh, right. This is where I disagree with a lot of the player base thing. I would gladly do away with, like, dumping, like, 50 smoke powder bombs in a backpack and then putting it at the feet of someone and then killing the boss like that. I would gladly do away with that if it also did away with the constant, like, misclicking on things so unbelievably easily. And, like, those kind of Larianisms are things that, like, people like... I feel like a lot of people like them, and that's what Larian's kind of known for in their lot of game making. I find it just annoying, and I don't like it.
Well, I mean, like, yes, obviously, because, like, I don't know. The system on which Baldur's Gate 3 was made is obviously has issues, and I don't necessarily disagree with that on a fundamental level, but, like, you know, putting 50 smoke powder bombs in a bag and blowing it up at the feet of a boss, like, that's one of the things that people like. That's like an example of like the type of thing that people really like about Baldur's Gate 3,
right?
Because
exactly.
It does reflect the absolute nonsense that you can do in the D&D system. You know.
Hello,
Grant. Welcome back.
I mean, does it though?
What, reflect the type of stuff that you can do in D&D?
Because, well, I don't know. I guess theoretically, maybe. But
I mean,
like,
you were the one who told me about the fucking the what was it? It was like the 1,000 villager railgun.
I guess. I mean, that doesn't really do anything at the end of it, though. You just pass items really fast.
Well, you let go, and then the velocity of the thing shoots through the boss's skull or whatever.
That's
I don't know.
not a
Once
thing.
again,
That's a flavor thing.
like obviously the fucking DM is allowed to just say no to that shit or whatever. But what I mean to say is that like the idea that in the Baldur's Gate 3 system, if you have an idea the vast majority of those ideas are able to be pursued is what drew people to the game, like in droves.
Sure, I guess. I don't know. I could happily do away with the Larianism, physics objects, HUD misclick constantly, like stuff like that. But yeah. I don't know. It's annoying to me, but also I wouldn't have 500 hours in the game if I didn't have things on it that I liked. Sadly, as much as I hate to admit it. Carly's pretty good. I like Carly. I'm more of a fan of Minsk though.
Minsk is fucking sick. Also, Saba, don't listen. Saba doesn't know about Minsk yet.
Minsk is legacy, and that's why I like it. I think the voice actor did a really fucking fantastic job.
Because there's him, there's Druid Lady, right? She's legacy.
Jira,
And I think that's it, right? I think it's just those two.
Volo, Saravok, Faconia.
I guess Volo counts, obviously. I was just
Volo's
thinking
in
about
Baldur's Gate
I
2.
was just thinking companions.
I was thinking about Baldur's Gate 1 legacy characters. Technically, there's a flail that's from Baldur's Gate 2 that's in Baldur's Gate 3, except they nerfed the shit out of it. Like, it's extremely, like, obviously different systems, but, like, in Baldur's Gate 2, there's this flail that's, like, legendary status, one of the best weapons in the game, like, easily, like, endgame tier item. In Baldur's Gate 3, it's a +1 flail that can do +1d4 damage.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Legendary.
Genuinely not.
Pales in comparison to fucking the blood of Lathander or whatever.
Which, by the way, they also nerfed the hell out of that one, too, in one of the patches, which I'm like, that's probably warranted, but also they made it borderline useless in a lot of cases.
How so? What do you mean? That thing fucking shuts off most encounters of Act 2.
It used to shut them off because there was no saving throw on blinding it, and then they gave it a saving throw that was honestly insultingly low. I think it's a DC 13 saving throw, which is not very high. A lot of undead and fiends clear it very easily, consistently.
I'm trying to remember. 'Cause, I mean, I know what you're talking about, because obviously there is a saving throw associated with it. But, like, I remember, like, when Saba and I were going through Act 2, we would all just, like, crowd around fucking Asterion, I think, who's like he's like a bard paladin. We would just crowd around Asterion with the Blood of Lathander, and enemies would just walk up to us and just not do anything. I don't think they all failed. I mean, that being said, I'm literally talking about shades, so maybe the shades failed, but...
I was saying, it's really, really good against shadows, because the main thing it has against shadows is that it glows. Which you can replicate with a light cantrip. Yeah,
it glows.
I think. Listen, if I were to compile all the weapons as well as 3, I think that Blood of Thunder is like in the top third of useful weapons.
There's that staff that's locked away in the Wizard's Tower in Act 3. That thing's pretty fucking good.
That one doesn't work. The description is wrong. And
What do you mean? How does it not work? It's fucking 5 staffs in one. How does that not work?
The one in the Wizard Tower in the Underdark, or the one in Act 3?
In Act 3. The one in the Wizard's Tower that's a store.
Yeah, okay, that one's different.
Yeah, I was say the one in Act 1 isn't legendary, I don't think.
I was gonna say, that one's fine, but that one's description is wrong, or its effect is implemented wrong.
Are you talking about the one that like makes it so that way you roll? Isn't that like you add like something to your roll when you're doing like an attack roll or something?
That one is supposed to increase bless, and it doesn't do it properly. It's supposed to make it so that when you cast bless, spell attacks an additional 2d4, which sounds really, really good, except you just give spell attacks additional 1d4, and then that's normal bless, which is not how the text description works, but at the end of the day, you're getting a 2d4 to your thing as long as you cast bless. So I don't know, it's implemented weirdly / wrong. It's whatever. But yeah, the one in Act 3, it's pretty good as well. The saving throw is always nice, spell attack's always nice. Spell recharge is nice, except like at Act 3, you can just long rest between every single fight, and there's really not that much consequence. Because you can just buy food there. You're in town. You buy food.
Fair enough.
There's not. Like, there's not really reason not to long rest seeing every single Fight Night 3 except that it's tedious.
By the way, just to like talk about the actual video game for a second, that's very cute. I like that Vera's like a big fan of the magicians. That's really great.
Yeah.
Do you like her like Blue's Clues-esque notebook where the notebook
Where
is
it's
shaped like a thing?
shaped.
God, I always really wanted a notebook, like a hand notebook, shaped like the Blue's Clues one. It's
They're gonna be like shaped like my head.
shaped exactly like my head. When I was a kid, I thought that was like I wanted that so desperately, and I just it looked so satisfying to have and hold.
Hell yeah.
What were do you guys have items when you were a kid that you saw on TV?
Did you guys
that,
have items when you were a kid?
like not
My
necessarily
inventory
that were
was
advertised,
TV.
but stuff that was like, man, I want that so badly. Like I'm not talking about like things that were advertised in like an ad, like oh Super Soaker 4 or whatever.
Just like some item that you were like, man, I really want X.
Yeah. Bonus points, I guess, if it's possible to do in reality, but you know, fictional, understandable too.
I like Grant answer first
Yeah.
since I talk a lot.
I'm trying to think as well. I mean, there was always like the one of like, an actual like wooden sword or something.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's
Dude,
fair.
Cartoons, I feel it, man. I don't think I've ever seen a real life wooden sword that looked as satisfying to hold and use as a cartoon wooden sword.
Oh, absolutely. Because in cartoons, they don't actually have to like necessarily consider the weight of the thing. Where like a wooden quote unquote practice sword is still really fucking heavy. It doesn't move like the way you would want it to.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think. Like back when I was a kid, if I wanted something, it was typically either food, because like I would see like a picture of like, wow, that looks really good. I really want that, right? Or the only thing I don't remember really wanting items that much because I don't know, like most toys kind of went over my head. Like I didn't really understand them because I had video games, and then. But I guess I really wanted like skills. Like I remember,
Skills.
because I remember that I watched like there was like a
Lust
TV
for
show or a
power.
movie or something where like there was just like some once again it was like the this would have been like early 2000s, so it was just like a scene where like a bunch of teens are riding skateboards and they're like grinding and stuff, right? And I'm like, yo, I would fucking love to have that. I would love to just do that. And then I remember like bringing that up to my dad, and he's like, well, I can get you a skateboard if you want. And I'm like, no, I kind of just want the skill, but without actually the skateboard.
But the commitment.
Well, it's not even just the commitment. It was more along the lines of like, I fundamentally, like in this particular case, I fundamentally understood that like trying to get good at skateboarding would require injury, and I don't want to get hurt. So anywho.
Was there an item that you really wanted when you were a kid?
Because like your referencing of like the Blue's Clues like notebook is like putting me in the mental space of like stuff in fiction that I really wanted. So it's
The
like
Splanker.
yes, I was actually going to say not the splanker, but there was in Codenames Next Door there was this one weapon that they would use all the time where it was like a flashlight pointed directly into a glass bottle, and that somehow shot a laser beam that could like blow up a car. And I remember really wanting that. I remember really wanting like a Pokedex. Because even like the Pokedexes that they sold at like Toys R Us and stuff never worked like how they did in the show, which I remember being really disappointed by.
Oh, I had a couple Pokeballs, and I had this one that was like obviously, it should go without saying it didn't work, but
What? This is bullshit.
but it was satisfying to click open and closed. That was pretty cool.
It was a little just tactile thing.
Yeah, basically.
Ham, where are you? I hear you chewing, but I can't freaking see you, so I don't trust you. Ham? I swear to fucking God, if I look and you're chewing on my fucking...
You're gonna put him down again.
No, where the fuck? Hello? Dog? Oh. He's a ghost.
Zach, look up. And then he's on the ceiling.
No idea. I swear to God, I can hear him chewing, but I literally just can't see him, so...
Under your bed?
No, I just looked. I got on my hands and knees, and he's not
In your
there.
walls.
He might be
He's
in
in
the
the
walls, admittedly.
He just
All
chewed a hole through.
Grant,
Yeah.
get a picture of this man's balls. Now, what's the next Tanter topic?
How many have we
Next
done
Tanner
so
Bop
far? Are
is
we on 3
one
or
of
4?
This is 4 or 5, I think.
Okay. As long as
next
we're
one
making
is yours,
progress.
Adrian.
Oh.
Adrian
See, I
from
remember it now.
March of this year.
Let's see if I remember
Monologue
this.
conceptualization, being trained on the OGs.
We talked about this, and Zach forgot to mark it. Apparently,
Never mind.
What was
Back
it?
to Zach.
it was. I was complaining about how this was back when Dungeon Meshi was still airing early-ish on. There is the episode where like Lias seemingly. Okay, if you have no conception of like
there you are.
narrative
Hi.
and thought process, it seems like Lias just stands around thinking for a long time. When anyone that reasonably has consumed media will realize, oh, he's not actually just standing there. It's the story. The video is moving slowly, so we have time to process Lias's thoughts before he actually moves.
Grant, how far back are you? I'm trying to...
I'm in March of this year.
You skipped over what comes in a set of 13.
We did that one.
We did?
Yeah.
It's only Mark because me and Grant reacted. To the
Well, I mean, I
keys.
just unmarked it. What do you... did we already do what do you think a world of predominantly good media would look like? Did we already do that?
Did I skip that?
Yeah.
Where's that?
2024.
220. Oh, I missed that one.
There's a Jesse in here, which is Beyblade's Cole again, and then level design of groceries. Jesse would have to be on stream for these, so we'll never get around to those.
It's true.
What are you doing? Are you going insane?
Good media, Zach.
Well, did we answer?
Or
Oh, no.
what, like, with-
Adrian just said that we... Monologue conceptualization be traced on the OGs. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. What the fuck? What are you doing?
You fool!
No, I think he just fucking fell off my bed. What the fuck? He was pretending that his bone was like, I guess, prey, like something to be attacked. So he was jumping back and forth like a ninja, and I heard him fucking slip and fall. And I turn and I call his name, and he crawls out from under my bed because he fell in between my bed and the wall.
You should yell at him saying that he's gone mad with power and that his schemes will kill us all.
Where's that coming from?
Nothing, it's just something I like to say to people on mundane stuff.
Okay, great. Yes.
That's
Anyway,
really solid,
so
actually.
the thing that I was gonna say when it came to this banter topic, what would a world of predominantly good media look like, quote unquote, right? Where it's like, there's obviously a lot of really good media out there. Great video games, great music, great movies, great TV. Well, I mean, that's the thing. There is so much good stuff out there that I don't think a singular person could, like, I'm not as into music as Grant is, obviously, right? And obviously our tastes would probably differ if I did get into music. But at the same time, I do feel like generally within a genre of media, there are certain things that bubble to the top of being like, these are what are considered like great to excellent. And I think there is enough of that kind of content that a person could not reasonably finish it in their lifetime while also maintaining like a regular work-life balance. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying. So I was just trying to conceptualize of like, imagine if there was like no bad content, like nothing ever met your eyes or ears unless it was good to great. You know, what would that world look like? Like
I think it would.
Yeah, I'll let you go.
Be boring. I'm sorry.
Right,
I was gonna say, I think it would be
so actually, you hit the nail on the head. You hit what I was just about to say. Wouldn't you just not realize that it was great?
Yeah, you wouldn't, because what is considered good would just become normal, right? Like that's like, yeah, that's good.
Because like Jurassic Park is a great movie. Jurassic Park 1 is a great
idea.
movie.
We should do it.
Sorry.
I said it's a great idea. We should do it. Let's go to an island, guys.
Let's go to an island. I'm good at gene splicing.
Yeah.
I got some frogs. No,
Zach does have enough money to fund it.
I don't
It's
actually.
true.
Not
All the
even
money he
remotely.
gets
I
from
barely
streaming.
have enough money to afford a apartment right now. So
He barely has enough money to afford a yacht.
great. Yes, that's definitely what
Wow.
I'm saying. But
to afford a 50 yacht.
well, because I guess what I mean to say is that, like, okay, in this hypothetical where you're a person who only ever, like, encounters and experiences good to great media, and you watch Jurassic Park, would you not still be able, like, you don't know that you're only watching good stuff, right? You're just experiencing stuff in general. I guess you would then redefine in your head stuff that's good to great based on your preferences.
Yeah, you'd probably see Jurassic Park and be like, it was all right.
Yeah, you would probably be like, yeah, that was okay. Like, if you weren't into dinosaurs and, like, action movies and stuff like that, right? Like, if you were more into, like, fucking horror movies and thrillers or whatever, you would gravitate towards, I don't fucking know, It or something. It's not that good. But anyway, whatever. Whatever great horror movie.
Shining.
Huh?
The Shining.
Shining's pretty, well, I don't even know if you would call it's definitely psychological thriller. I don't know if that's
It's horror. I would say it's horror.
I guess so, because like when I think that's why I try to make a distinction for myself, the difference between like a thriller and a horror, because like I remember my sister, after I showed her Parasite, she was talking to one of her coworkers and called it a horror movie apparently, and then they went to go watch it and they were like, oh, I was expecting there to be like a serial killer or something, right?
I mean,
there's not. Well, kinda. For that one brief moment towards the end,
for
but
the brief moment, there is.
but that's not the point, right? That's not like the point of the movie. The point is the
Parasite's
suspense and
definitely
thrill,
a thriller.
right?
Fucking fantastic thriller.
Incredible. I fucking love that movie. But it's just like, I don't know. I wonder what that world would look like, because like in this hypothetical, either somebody would have to be feeding you all this stuff without you realizing it. Like, they would be fucking mitigating everything that you see, so you only experience the stuff that is generally considered to be good to great. Or you would have to exist in an alternate reality where only good to great stuff gets made. And I don't know. I just don't know what that would do to, like, your perception of media.
Do to
I
a
guess.
motherfucker.
Huh?
What only good media does to a motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know. And I guess that's the thought of like, what does only good media do to a motherfucker? Because like I've watched stuff that's like subpar before, and I feel like the juxtaposition makes me appreciate similar things that are better more. You know?
Right.
Like
Because you know what bad is.
Like watching a watching a Chinese knockoff of Kung Fu Panda makes me appreciate Kung Fu Panda 1 more, you know?
I mean, yeah, I think it's just like you said, you would recontextualize and redefine what you think is good or bad or mediocre.
Right.
And I think it would just be harder standards. I don't know.
I might have been wrong.
You fool.
No!
I don't know. Did you have anything to mention about this, Adrian?
I don't know about you guys, but that's basically the world I've already been living in, so...
Oh, you're so cool.
I just happen to have really good taste, so everything I consume is awesome.
He's got a point. He does like Kingdom Hearts.
True.
All right. I mean, I guess moving on to the
Adrian,
next one.
Adrian, help a brother out. What's the good luck charm?
What's the good luck charm? It's the nail
What's
polish.
the conflict?
I don't think I have that yet.
Panic.
Sucks to suck.
Wait,
Scream in her
the
face.
nail polish that's on the fucking desk?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, the one that's in like the fancy bottle?
Who knows?
Are you fucking shitting me? I did inspect that and it didn't add to my court record. Fuck this. Are you shitting? Really? I definitely fucking inspected this. Yeah, see, look. Already did.
Let's see. Did you talk to Kristoff yet? He offers you the nail polish.
Who the fuck is
Hang on.
Who the fuck is Kristoff?
Present day solitary cell 13. That's where you get the nail polish.
So it's not. So despite the fact that you said modern day,
Yeah, solitary cell 13.
I don't have that.
Well,
Okay. Well, okay, that's fine.
The next banter topic comes to you courtesy of Zachary.
Who would have guessed?
Lindelofian, aka
Linda
not knowing
Lofbian.
Lindelofian.
Yeah,
aka
Dave.
not knowing the answer to a question, also naming phenomena after people.
Yeah, so this is something. So this is actually kind of an echo of a topic that Adrian had brought up like a long while ago. So David Lindelof was and is, because he still works, but either are you familiar with the TV show Lost?
I've heard of
Oh,
it.
it exists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a show that I used to watch with my dad religiously. We fucking loved Lost. The lead writer of Lost was a man by the name of David Lindelof, and back then it was a thing where like this was like I think his second show or maybe like his second major show at least that he had written for, and he said in interviews after Lost ended, and I'll talk about that in a moment. After Lost ended, he described that his writing process was asking questions and just always ask more questions. Every answer should have 2 to 3 more questions right behind it, because that's how you keep people engaged and interested in your narrative, right? So, for those of you who are unaware, a lot of people, myself and my father included, found the final concluding seasons of Lost to be enormously disappointing because they never had a plan for the show. It was always just like, okay, here's the premise. We're just going to keep making shit up, like proposing more and more questions. And then as we get to the end of the show and need to start wrapping shit up, we're just going to say, oh, that didn't matter. Oh, it was fake. Oh, it was your imagination. Oh, it was a dream. Right? Stuff like that.
I use this GIF a lot, but
Is this on air?
like that.
Pretty much, yes. And by the way, it's great. It's a great GIF. It's always applicable. But
I love it.
it's pretty. It is kind of like that, right? Where it's like obviously they would plan out an entire season in advance because they need to be able to like film everything. But like, they're like one of the big like for as like a specific example, one of the big things in Lost was the idea of this smoke monster. There was a plane crash. They crashed on this island, and if people were exploring the jungle, there was a very likelihood that the smoke monster would show up, and if it catches you, it just drags you off screaming into the jungle, and you're never seen again, right? So it was like, what the fuck is that? What is this? What are we gonna do to like handle it? And that's like the questions that were being proposed, right? Well, towards the end of the show, spoilers, I guess, they reveal that the smoke monster is like this weird pseudo-Egyptian like curse that was manifest as a monster, where when you're exploring the jungle, all it does is it grabs you and drags you back to this temple underneath this giant foot of like a statue, and then it just kind of like sucks you into the wall and you die. And that's it. It's not like some big, grand, impressive thing. It's just like, oh, it's just like this weird hieroglyphic curse that like pulls you in to feed itself. Like it's a monster. And that was like a really like for how much weight they gave this creature, like narratively, it was a very unsatisfying ending. So anywho, so that's where the term Lindeloffian comes from, where now it's a thing where it's like, if you are watching a piece of media, if you're experiencing a piece of media that is just proposing question after question after question without ever actually setting up answers, it is Lindeloffian, right, in that way. The reason why this came up in particular was because I had just recently watched a video essay, where a person was talking about how a couple of the Danganronpa games were quote-unquote Lindeloffian, where they just proposed question after question after question, and then when it came to answers, it's like, oh, it was a dream, oh, it was your imagination, whatever, right? Kind of like the end of Firewatch, but that's like a different story.
Super Mario Brothers 2.
Super Mario Brothers 2! The whole thing was a dream!
It was.
It was, that is true, that is the ending of that game. But anywho, so... I don't know. I mostly just wanted to talk about the idea of something being Lindeloffian, because you have God, what's his name? Fucking guy. He was the guy who made Eraserhead. Lynchian, David Lynch. Where something is Lynchian if it's like surreal and trippy and doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's really engaging because of those things. That's Lynchian, right? Which is like its own thing. And so both of these are examples of like, here is a phenomenon that this person is really famous for, so we are going to just name it after them. And so that's the phenomenon. I was just wondering if you guys either had any examples that you could think of that like occurring, or or could think of like, oh, this phenomena should be named after this person.
Does Pavlovian count?
Pavlovian does count, no, straight up, that does count, because it was named after a guy.
All right, what about I thought to just make up one, and I was like, that sounds too plausible.
What was it?
Egbertian.
You'd have to know someone named Egbert.
I used to really like a guy called Edward Gold. Wait, no, sorry, wrong Ed. I'm thinking of the wrong Ed. Never mind, I'm thinking of Homestuck. There's a guy named Ed Burt in that comic. The cursed media.
How dare
foul
you.
Thing. Anyway.
Is something Lindeloffian if the resolution of it is also like anticlimactic?
Well, that could just be anticlimactic.
Is that part of it?
Right.
Is that part of it though?
It certainly feeds into it, because like that's the idea. Is like if you're proposing question after question after question and then the answers don't matter, it inherently is anticlimactic.
Okay, yeah, so it is part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say probably a lot of like CW shows.
I mean, very fair, very fair.
Where they also propose a lot of shit. I mean, you can see that it's going in a bad direction, though, I guess. So maybe it's not Lindeloffian. That's their own thing.
Because like back in the day, fucking Lost was like the show to be watching. Like that was like the water cooler show that everybody was talking about. Where, obviously that was like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad for like a period of time. And like back then it was Lost, where it's like every new episode the next day, everybody at the office would be talking about like, oh, what do you think happened? And it's like, oh.
Do you think Jesse and Walt are finally gonna kiss?
Oh!
I hope so. Where's the Halloween episode? Where's the Christmas episode?
God, I just love all the auxiliary like fan media about Breaking Bad. I think more than the show. Granted, I haven't watched shows, so that's not fair of me. But still, I really like.
You should watch the show. It's good.
I like the official like side bit they did where Hank just inexplicably survives getting shot in the back of the head. Like the bullet just splatted straight against the back of his head. He puts a fist out from the dirt and crawls out. I already talked about it, but I really like the video where it's like Hank keeps guessing names.
I rewatched that today, actually.
It's so good. Have I showed you the one where it's Gus versus everyone?
No, I don't think so.
Hang on. Oh my god, it's so good. Hang on.
I love but everyone's not careful.
Oh yeah, it's really good. There's one where Gus survives, where at the explosion he doesn't die, he doesn't get blown up. He launches up into the sky and like finds Hank and like shoots down at him. And here's Gus versus. I love this video so much.
Gus
yeah,
versus literally.
I do think Breaking Bad is some of the funniest fan content I've seen in my life, though.
I think I know why you don't want to talk about it. Do I have anything to...
Oh my god! Go, Gus.
Hi.
The music kicking in is really good.
Oh my god.
Dude, Walter.
It's such good editing, too.
He's in his underwear.
The fucking turtle.
Obviously, I'm not doing myself any favors here by only like 20% paying attention to the game, but I do feel slightly lost here. I am lost. Lindeloffian. I'm at.
Do you want
I'm
me to
at
just
like
read
the.
off the guide and see how far what you've actually done on it yet?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so blah 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 blah. Pass right and cool offices. Talk to Trucy. Office daddy, the professional, amazing chat, mommy. Say show me. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I got that already. Pass defendant lobby number 2. Talk to Meekins. The magician's experience. The vanishing trick. 2 Cyclops. Already did that. Talk to Meekins again. The vanishing trick. The trick vanished. Blah blah. Go to present day Borscht Bowl Club.
Yep.
Talk to Zach, the mean in competition. There's 3 Cyclops, don't do them yet.
Okay.
About Trucy, transfer of rights. You get the transfer of rights in the court record. 7 years. Present Trucy's locket. Then enter solitary cell 13. Did you present Trucy's locket?
Sorry, hold on. So, at the Borscht Bowl Club, I'm supposed to present the locket?
To Zach, yeah.
Based on what? Fucking.
See if he knows that Thalassa.
I mean, it's his wife. We know this.
Well, there you go. You gotta show the man his wife.
But this is crazy because this is fucking. I don't know. Now we're dragging evidence between timelines. Like literally, what the fuck?
And Brushel appears in the timeline. He's a time traveler.
I hate everything. Okay,
I guess it implies that everything that Apollo can get in the present, Phoenix already had in the past.
But Phoenix
know.
is the one talking to these people.
I don't know, man. I didn't write this game.
I don't think anyone wrote this game. I think they all just got high and decided to just throw darts at a board.
Okay, after you talk to Zach, go to Salter 13 and talk to Christoph in the present day.
And this is where I get the nail polish, right? Is what you said.
Yeah.
And then with the nail polish, I can go back to what's her face and talk to her, and I should be able to.
What'd you say, Grant?
I fucking love Gus versus everyone.
It's so good. I forgot that the Flash shows up.
Yeah.
And he turns, looks at the
His
Superman
eyes.
look. It's so good, dude.
Next banter topic is Adrian.
We didn't. Were we done with the Lindeloffian thing?
Never mind.
Well, no, I don't know. It's like I don't like. Do you guys pay attention to creators enough to have like this person should have a thing named after them?
I don't consume media.
Zach, I'm allergic to watching the credits of anything, so. Okay, so I guess does Larianism count for all the things I was complaining about earlier?
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue yes.
Well, there you go. There's another one.
What about
Larianism's
Kojima?
annoying me.
Kojima, absolutely. I don't think the language necessarily worked. Like you wouldn't call it. I guess you would call it Kojima-esque, right?
Kojima-esque.
I was gonna say I didn't know whether you want specifically to count like esque or ism or whatever, like the specific.
The vernacular doesn't matter. It's just the idea of like, it's a specific like phenomena within media that reflects X, Y, and Z. Like, because I don't know. I guess within the context of this, because like Lindeloffian is like a way of writing, right? It's like a confluence of writing styles. Lynchian is very similar, where it's like a confluence of like aesthetic and writing and all that jazz. Whereas like something being Kojima-esque is just like nonsensical, over the top spectacle, but still somehow engaging. So I guess that's kind of like the construction of something.
Not
Whereas
to be
like
confused with platinumism.
platinumism, platinum has a very distinct flavor to everything that they make. So I guess that's fair.
Yes.
Because like
Flanderization count?
Sorry,
Does Flanderization count?
I would yes,
From Ned
Flanderization does
Flanders?
count because it's named after Ned Flanders. Because it's a phenomenon named after, in this case, obviously a character, but that's still like a person.
Right.
Like the idea is that everything in this category points back to a specific individual or group of individuals that exemplify that thing.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, there's a handful for you.
Sure.
To mull about, if you will.
To ruminate on.
Swish that in your mouth.
I won't. Goodbye.
It's got overtones of yuck and undertones of yummy.
So it tastes gross first, and then the aftertaste is good.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, you're like
You forget that you didn't like it.
The next one is from Adrian.
What
Adrian,
is it?
abstract/dangerous game.
Okay, I remember this one actually. So there's been talk in the past about like, oh, would you like to live in this video game world? I wanna like, what if you lived in Skyrim? What if you lived in Pokemon? I wanna take a step back a little bit from that, but still keep on the same track. Broadly speaking, would you rather live in a video game world that is, or just a media like series world that is dangerous or abstract?
Dangerous or abstract? Can you give an example of abstract?
Like most puzzle games, like Tetris, for example.
Can you
I'd be
fucking
living
live
in
in the
Qbert.
Tetris world? I don't know if you can. I
Well,
don't think
that's
there's
the
a.
thing.
I think the Tetris world is just Russia, but then there's just this giant screen with blocks falling.
Well, in my
You can
head,
live there, not for long.
In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's a black void, and you see like there's this big structure to your right that has falling blocks and numbers and stuff, and you just have to like, presumably in this world, like food and sustenance is not that much of an issue, but although it can be if you wanted to, but that makes it less interesting, I think. But like, presumably,
Because I guess the nature of this question makes it difficult to answer, because if your choice is like either a dangerous world or an abstract world, then it really comes down to like the devil you know versus the devil you don't. Because like if it's a dangerous world, it's very likely that you'll just die. And if it's an abstract world, you have no fucking idea what's gonna happen because it doesn't make any sense.
How dangerous we talking? Like, are we in The Last of Us?
sure.
Oh.
Well, then we're fucked. Like, no, I'm not living there.
I guess I don't know. I'm thinking of like Tetris that is for the Game Boy that is just a black void with like blocks and numbers, or like chess that is like some video game of chess where it's just a chessboard in pieces.
But I don't understand how you can live in that. That's my point. How
can't live there long.
But what I'm saying is like, how the fuck can you possibly live in the world of Minesweeper? How can you live in the world of Solitaire? That doesn't make any sense.
It's a void. It's a blank void, and in the middle is a top-down screen.
But where are you? Where are you living?
In Minesweeper.
in Minecraft.
Minecraft would make more sense. It's less abstract.
In brown bricks and Minecraft.
In brown? Would you rather live in brown bricks? Okay.
Or live in Minecraft.
I think that. I guess the question I'm asking: would you rather live in a dangerous video game world, or would you rather starve in a black void watching someone else play a puzzle game?
That's not even a question.
I think I live in the dangerous one.
I'm about to say now you're asking like, okay, do you want to die this way or die in a fucking existential horrible way? Hey, by the way, Grant, I will remind you, in both ways, fucking Diablo died.
Okay, but
What?
right, if you're
Diablo
in the Tetris
bad
world,
guy of JoJo's Part 5.
Diablo. Okay.
Yeah,
But
remember?
here's the thing, right? If you
They
live
said
in the
Diablo,
Tetris
like-
world and you don't want to starve to death, you can optionally crawl into the structure and get crushed by a brick.
Can I
guess
eat the
that's
bricks?
I don't know.
You
they
have to
taste
eat
like
it
plastic,
quickly because they
probably.
disappear when the line is complete.
What do you think a Tetris?
I eat them and
feels
then they have to Tetris in my stomach.
What do you think a Tetramino feels and tastes like?
Well, actually, we do have an answer for this kind of, because Tetraminos are based on that like Russian puzzle. There's like this like popular kids puzzle that they had in Russia that the game was based on, and those are made out of thin strips of plywood. So I would assume they taste similar.
I'd eat it.
Let's see.
I know you probably need to go to the bathroom, but you got like half an hour, okay? You're gonna be fine. And then I have to
Got
disarm the
half a
house
year.
because my mom fucking gave the address. She gave the address of our home to a stranger online because they said that they wanted to buy her fridge. Fucking idiot. Anyway, that's recorded. Shit.
It sure is.
Do the next topic. It's clear this one's a dud according to popular
The
vote.
next topic.
Well, it's not that it's a
Comes
dud. I
from-
think it's interesting. I just think you need to like have a. I think you just need to change what the second category is. Because like if it's something abstract, you can't think of it because it doesn't make any sense, right? Whereas like if your second category just needs to mutate slightly, you know.
The next topic comes
wait,
from
hold on.
me.
Can I ask a question? Would you rather
No.
live in a dangerous video game world with 5 lives, or a video game world that is just like a simulation, right? Like just like a simulator type world, but you only have the 1 life and then you die?
I'd rather live in a dangerous game world with 1 life.
What? you just
So it
croak.
matters.
You just croak
Listen,
fucking
Zach.
instantly.
Listen, Zach. When I play a game, I want my choices to matter.
Your choices matter. You know what? He's on to something.
Amy, where are you?
What's the
Emmy.
next band to topic?
Emmy.
The next banter topic comes from me. Too many or too few? This was just
You
a thought I
motherfucker.
had. What the fuck was that?
Oh, this is from you falling. Oh.
Is Hammy alive? Or did Zach have to put him down again?
Sorry, I just discovered that when Hammy fell off my bed, he unplugged both of my chargers.
Ah.
Alright, sorry.
So the next topic being, what game do you think you own the most copies of, or know that you have the most copies of?
Who asked this?
Me.
Huh. Oh, that's why you didn't say who asked it, because it was you.
I said it. you were dealing with Hammy.
Oh, sorry. What game do you own the most copies of?
Yeah, and how many do you
Probably Skyrim.
That's a
have?
good
How many do you
answer.
have?
Not by any love for Skyrim particularly, but just because it's fucking Skyrim.
Just because it's fucking Skyrim.
They gave it to me, you know.
Fair enough.
PS3, PS4, PS5, PC, Epic Games, and by PC I mean Steam, obviously, because that's the real storefront.
Right.
Epic Games. I bought it on Humble Bundle when that came out. I bought it, and then I'm pretty sure I bought it on Switch. I think it's Journey. I think
really?
it's Journey at 7 copies.
God damn.
It's a good game. It's pretty cheap.
Fair enough.
Real easy to validate a repurchase of that shit every couple years.
It's a good game.
Why? What's your answer? Kingdom Hearts 1. I own 30 copies.
Yeah, and 30 copies for the PlayStation 5. Mine's Batman Arkham City that I think I have 4 or 5 copies of.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. Did Adrian give an answer? Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Skyrim, but
How
do you
many?
know how
But
many?
how
I
many?
have?
But how many Skyrims?
are we counting things that I bought and could access but don't have like I could access given like a few days but not like
I would
an
say that
hour?
counts.
Yeah, that counts.
Like
Okay.
I said fucking PS3, PS4. I don't physically I don't have those hooked up anymore.
Okay, I have one for Xbox. I have one for, and I have 2 copies of Skyrim on my Steam because it gave them to me. So 3.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Unlike you people, I don't buy games I already have because I'm not a stupid.
The next topic comes from Adrian, the Rooster.
What the hell was I talking about? Is there
This is
anything else
why
to
you
it?
need to give a comma and then
It's
context.
No, just remember.
It's a rooster.
Hi.
What the hell was I
Rooster.
on?
He was talking.
cannot
Skip and go to your next
Skip
one.
it, go to the next one.
Adrian's next one.
Next me.
Next step in killing things.
Okay, I do remember this one. Okay, so
Grant, was that your too many, too few?
Yeah.
Okay.
what we all are familiar with the headline, "Oh, millennials are killing X," right?
True.
I saw. How dare you unmark the rooster? I'll remember it, Zach. Just give me a few years.
Don't look at it.
2 years.
Stop
Show 'em the
looking at
cock.
it. You're playing Baldur's Gate.
Dare you? All right. So we're all familiar with the headline, "Oh, millennials killed blank thing." Blah. Like it's like, "Oh, millennials killed diamonds," or thank you, Grant. Millennials killed, or sorry.
He thinks
not
that Grant did it.
I was saying, listen, I'm not. I see an eggplant emoji. I think it's fair. Do you want me to start assuming that you're gonna give eggplant emojis out?
No. Oh my god, is this fucking 5? What the hell? Why are they black?
Who knows? Anyway, we're all familiar with like, "Oh, millennials killing the diamond industry." Millennials killing
I
the
say as I
movie
unmask
theaters.
the. Never mind.
I remember this was. I think you guys might have seen this too, but this was back when this was posted. So like January, February, March, April. There was this headline that I saw that just really knocked the fucking wind out of themselves. Where it's like, "Oh, millennials are killing groceries," and I'm like,
What?
You mean because of horrible price gouging, making it so that way people can't afford groceries anymore, and that's millennials' fault?
that was
Yeah,
literally the article, but they chose the headline: "Millennials are killing groceries. Here's how."
And it's a picture of like someone bringing a knife into the fucking
Well, it was a
produce
picture
aisle.
of like it was a picture of some random generic dude looking at an apple or something and like turning away or some shit. But it was
What if it was about someone like millennials going into grocery stores and just stabbing the fruits and vegetables there?
like I wish it was that. But also, I literally scanned the article and it was like, "Oh yeah, like price gouging is so bad, millennials can't afford groceries." And it was like, okay, that's like
So why are you phrasing
pretty-
it like this?
right. It was a pretty generally factual and neutral article.
'Cause it got
but
you
the
to read it.
headline
Well, I
was
was about
like,
to say,
"We
I
gotta get those
think it's
clicks."
because without that headline, who would give a shit?
Right, without the headline, it's just depressing. But like the point of that is not how depressing it was. It would just make me think of like, what is the next thing that people are going to be able to write an article about millennials killing that is more fundamental than groceries?
More fundamental than groceries.
That's food. We need food to live, but what do we need more than food to live that we can kill
Millennials
next?
are killing the bottled water industry by just collecting rain from the sky.
Millennials are killing just other people.
Millennials are, and it made me think, millennials are killing clean breathing air by pollution, and it's like,
and the article is all about how like the fucking industrial complex of America has been like supremely deregulated, so it's just like pumping fucking pollutants into every atmosphere, every zone of the atmosphere.
But then
the
name
title
is,
still
like-
blames millennials.
I say that the next article is like, millennials have given up on breathing air. Here's why, and then the article is about like vaping addiction or something.
I mean, okay. Fair. They're killing the air breathing industry.
Right?
Big air.
Big air. It's called the sky.
Well, because it's like, it's actually interesting that you kind of bring it up like this, because I wonder, obviously this is like the age of the internet, and millennials kind of had to suffer the publicity of like boomers' ire for at the like the dawn of the internet type stuff, but like it's obvious that there was like an economic downturn, right? Because like I don't think people stopped going to like Applebee's or buying rings because they suddenly had like a moral obligation to stop doing these things. I think it's mostly because people didn't have the money to spend on like not even tertiary, like quadrary, like interests such as diamonds, right? I wonder if there was something similar. I wonder if you could go back to like fucking like super old articles from like right before the Great Depression. You know what I mean? Like that period of time where shit was getting bad, but it hadn't hit the fan yet. So I wonder if there were articles from back then talking about how like young couples aren't buying fucking horseshoes or whatever. You know what I mean? I wonder if that was a thing.
Probably. I mean, the older generation has always hated younger generation.
I was gonna say, I
yeah.
don't know if article specifically, but that always has been a thing. I think it's funny where you can see even old newspaper where it's like the young are dressing too flirtatiously nowadays. They're showing ankles.
Do you think that we're gonna blame anything on Gen Alpha? Because that's the thing, right?
We already blamed brain rot on them when we had YouTube poops.
Well, I don't know. Do we blame the generation for brain rot, or do we say that they're a victim of brain rot?
I mean,
Brain rot.
there's definitely a lot of people who say like it's their fault they're consuming it, and like they're stupid for consuming it. You know?
I mean, okay, but first off, yes, but B, it's like there's an aspect to that where it's like that's like admonishing somebody for getting addicted to heroin. It's like, yeah, obviously
don't do that.
Yeah, obviously don't do that. That's obviously a bad idea.
Just
but then
say
again,
no.
but what if instead of it being heroin, what if it was 6-second long videos from a Chinese social media site? You know what I mean? Like that's the difference. Where it's like it doesn't necessarily like I don't know, like my once again, I talk about doing all this like stuff with my nephew of like trying to get him to have actual taste in media, and I'm also trying to get him to like I already have like a bad attention span, but it is fucking miles ahead of where he is in terms of his natural attention span. And so it's like, you know, trying to get him to understand like not everything needs to be instant gratification, yada yada blah blah blah. And it's like it's because when like, you know, we'll be driving to like the zoo or whatever, right? Like this is a while ago, but like we'll be driving to the zoo and I see him like scrolling on his phone and it's just YouTube shorts for like fucking 2 hours. And I'm like, dude, you are fucking electroshock therapying your oxytocin. You know what I mean? Like you can't be doing that. Or not oxytocin, dopamine. You know, like you can't be doing that. You're gonna fry out your brain. And I don't know. I don't blame him for that, I guess. I blame the fact that some company decided to fucking, you know, take advantage of like a core function of the human brain. I feel like that's really shitty.
I mean, I think that is the correct position, but also I think that is a position that a lot of people who observe brain rot happening do not have. I think the more composition is, oh, it's their fault. They're just idiots.
Okay, so because like the thing that I was trying to get at was that like boomers blame millennials for a lot of stuff because they assume that millennials are lazy, right? Because it's like, oh, well, we worked really hard, or they from their perspective, boomers worked really hard and they made a good life for them and their family, and then they look at millennials without actually having a critical thought cross through their head. And they see like, oh, millennials don't have good lives, so ergo they must not be working hard. And then that's where a lot of that like animosity came from, right? So I'm wondering, like, well, first off, I guess millennials are kind of doing that to Gen Z right now, because I do see like millennials talking about how like Gen Z has like, you know, they have like the stupid haircuts and everybody's like all like, and all the Gen Z kids are like super vain and all this other nonsense. So yeah, you know what? I guess you're kind of right. I think it's just because Gen Alpha isn't really old enough to be like real people yet. You know, like we have to wait another 5 years for them to start becoming real people. But I wonder if that's going to be the thing. I wonder if that's going to be the thing of like, because I guess Gen Alpha would be the first generation of like iPad babies, right? I think we talked about this before. How long ago did the iPad first come out?
I have no clue.
2010.
It was before was it before or after the iPhone? Because the iPod was first. I assume it would be after, right? Because you would definitely invent a tablet after a smartphone.
First introduced January 27th, 2010. Let's go.
2010. So it's been about 14 years. So given another like 4-ish years. Well, actually, no. So we're assuming that. So, and this is just me like back of the napkin stuff, right? We will assume that iPad babies did not start becoming a thing until after did not start becoming a thing until a couple years after the initial release of the iPad, and then that's when parents realized that they could just stop parenting and give a kid a device instead, right? So let's say that happened around 2013, 2014. So those kids who were subjected to that would be about 10 years old today, and we give them like another, I don't know, 3 or 4 years to like start turning into like actual people. That generation is Gen Alpha. So I can actually definitely foresee a certain animosity between us and them being like, stop being stupid, you know? Like, stop, like have a critical thought ever. You can see that.
The cycle is doomed to repeat
What
itself
was
once
two?
again.
What was 2 generations prior to Boomers? Was that the Golden Generation? Because I think it was the Golden Generation, the Silent, and then the Boomers.
I do not remember.
Why do we call them the Golden Generation?
Because they were the generation that won World War II.
Okay. I guess it's pretty like epic. What's the next topic?
The next topic comes from Adrian.
What is it?
Senshi tulpification.
Oh yeah, this, I don't know.
You manifesting Senshi over there.
I think that we all know what this is about, probably.
I love tulpas.
I was gonna say, I think we've all seen this where like people have started manifesting Senshi from Dungeon Meshi as like a spirit guide to get them to make healthy like lifestyle, mostly dietary decisions.
And I think that's
it's
okay.
neat. I didn't say it was bad. I just think it's neat. I think it's funny, but I do think it's funny how like I'm wondering if like okay. I don't think he's up there yet, but I do think that like aside from like animals, Senshi might be the next most common type of tulpa.
Like at the current moment, I would disagree. It's probably Jesus.
Ah, that's true. That's true. Okay,
I was say, there's a lot of like historical and religious figures that definitely are higher up on the list than Senshi. But in terms of like things outside those like grand categories of history and religion, I could see Senshi presently being really high up there.
I guess as far as fictional characters, I think Senshi's pretty like he shot up.
No,
really
that's still
fast for how
Jesus.
long he's been around.
I mean, I may be the odd one out here, but who's Jesus?
Grant, that's the fucking funniest thing you could ever possibly say.
Okay.
It all started with 0.
Oh, okay.
How do I?
Yeah.
Do I already?
What's
Because
the next one? That's all I had to
give
say.
me the nail polish.
The next one comes from Adrian.
Hang on. Look. Okay. You're talking to Gavin, right? You got to examine the nail polish next to the roses.
Oh, literally examine it.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? This is a brand new scene. That's my bad for not thinking.
What were you saying, Grant?
Well,
The next
hold on.
topic comes
Before we
from
move on to
Adrian.
the next one, I did
Oh.
want to talk about the idea of like tulpification for a second, because it's like,
Okay.
I do appreciate the idea of people like referencing in their mind fictional characters, right? Because I feel like in a lot of ways, even like historical characters, or not characters, like people from history are kind of in that category, where I think most people think of people from history based on their accomplishments and like the apocryphal stories that you hear about them post-mortem. And so it's like, because I will fully admit, there was definitely a period of my life where I was so stressed about having to do like actual things to change my life that I straight up had the thought in my head of like, what would Jotaro do? And that legitimately got me through some tough times. I won't lie, I did do that. And so it's like, I don't know, I feel like I always in my mind have a soft spot for people who feel the need to like reach out to a fictional character in order to get like internalized guidance.
Fair.
I just think it's amusing how shared this is specifically. I feel like, because obviously I think that people are going to like imagine their fictional character helping them, whatever, if they really like them. But I feel like Senshi specifically has something about him that's making a lot of more people than usual do that. I feel like.
Well, I mean, his character is all. It was like founded upon the idea of giving good advice.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, I feel like it makes sense that if somebody were to think of a character, it would make sense to go to Senshi, since that's literally what his character is built off.
Right. I feel like there's characters in other shows that are like mentor father figures, or whatever. Like you. I don't know. I guess I just don't see that many people. Maybe it's just nowadays, but I don't see many people drawing are like, oh, Yoda reminded me to be mindful today. I think part of his Senshi's advice
I think you're talking to the wrong type of
grounded.
people. Then I definitely can think of people that have thought of like, what? I manifested Yoda. That's so funny. You're right. That is kind of a funny thought.
I think it's just because Senshi specifically is about like dietary and like health, and that's extremely grounded and realistic compared to like Yoda's being like, the Force, you must slop Disney's knob to get more merchandise.
You must slop
Yes,
Disney
Yoda.
knob.
Oh, yes, sir, Yoda, sir. I will slop Disney's knob. But yeah,
Okay.
I just thought that was amusing how common that was nowadays.
I agree. Grant, I do think we have enough time for one more banter topic. I think we made a lot of great progress. We are now in
May.
March, April, May.
Have we
We're
reached
in
the second
May.
half of the year yet?
What?
Have we reached the second half of the year yet?
We didn't get to the one I actually wanted to get to, which was Grant's What's Your Evil Doppelganger? But then again, I guess we should probably save that for Saba.
Because we should save it for when we have more time to discuss it.
Adrian, the actual Pokemon research game.
Okay, so something that I thought about a couple times that has bothered me is like, since the conception of Pokemon, or the conceit of it, I should say, is you gotta go out, catch Pokemon so that Professor Oak can research them, right? That's the first game, basically.
That's like the
along with
in-universe
the champion.
explanation as to like why you're
Yeah.
going on your journey, correct?
Yeah,
Gotta catch
it's like
them all.
it's obviously champion stuff too. But
Grant,
like,
we don't
those are
say
two
that
main reasons.
anymore, alright? If you
say
want
it.
them all, you pay for the fucking DLC, pig! Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, so you're supposed to go and reach them. However, the thing is that like the Pokedex just tells you a bunch of research information instantly once you catch them. And
It's a
lot of
bunch.
that
It's a bunch of
information-
info that like other people in universe before you entered in. Yeah.
like other people have entered in, or that like if that's not obvious, or information that would take like a long time to gather rather than just caught it, knows instantly.
So
Like,
I want to say real quick. So I'm assuming that you're talking about like what if there was a Pokemon game where you did actually put in that information. It's fascinating to me because I'm looking at when you submitted this banter topic idea, and it's impossible for you to have known this back then. But this is actually one of the rumors going around on the new Pokemon Legends game, the Pokemon Legends A to Z or whatever. One of the rumors is the idea of like when you capture Pokemon, you do actually put in your own observations based on what you've seen. And then like your observations get narrowed down and more specific the more of that Pokemon you catch.
in my head, the Pokemon research game I was imagining, where you're the guy putting in the research, is like, maybe this isn't a very good game, but I'm imagining like you're in a laboratory and you.
Yes, because that's what they want from a Pokemon game, you to be in a lab.
Papers, please.
Right,
Pokemon.
like obviously this could use some refining.
It's,
I'm not a
it's
game designer
Pokemon,
here.
please.
Pokemon, please.
Oh my god, it's
please.
a border
Pokemon,
checkpoint
please,
where they
Pokemon,
give
thank
you
you.
their team.
All right.
Oh my
Grant, you
God.
get a missive for the morning that says no fire types are allowed across the border, and the person like gives you their team, and like their fucking Salamence is like, I only have fire type moves. Does that count?
Okay, so the thing that in my head I was imagining, right, is like you're in a laboratory and you have no legs, so you can't leave ever.
Aw, not again.
But the conceit of the game would be like you receive like Pokemon fairly right. Like maybe you're working with the box system or something, where like you every day you have to like pick a Pokemon, and there's like these unknown traits about them, and you have like laboratory procedures you can do to like learn information about them, and then you have to enter that stuff in. And this obviously doesn't sound like a very fun game. That's because I'm not a game designer, but conceptually, that's what I was thinking of. Like, what if there's a game where you actually are like learning stuff about Pokemon? And,
Well,
like,
I mean, I think the only like problem, because this is obviously like initial ideation type thing, and you're mostly just bringing this up for the sake of discussion, which is fair. But like, I think your problem is that like, what are you actually looking for? I guess because like, are you talking about brand spanking new Pokemon that you've never seen before and you have to like make observations about them? Or are you talking about like, oh, this is a Pikachu, but we want you to like give a full analysis of this Pikachu?
I guess I'm just curious about like, part of me is also just morbidly curious, like, how did they find out that like Sandygast is infested by spiritual like dead people? Like, what research happened for that to be entered into the Pokedex?
Well, so
How do you know that?
So now I understand. So your thing is you want to see this sounds less like a game and more like it would be a really interesting short mini series, kind of like that Pokemon Concierge Netflix show. Like, genuinely, that seems like it would be a really interesting miniseries if you follow, like, a lab technician who is doing these observations. I don't know if it would necessarily make it a great game, but, like, I will say, specifically for the Alola region, they never confirmed this, but if you actually read the vast majority of the Pokédex entries from Sun and Moon, it genuinely just seems like it's the because that was the first game where Rotom was possessing your Pokédex. It really does seem like it's just Rotom fucking with you. Because they're
just making up shit.
Yeah, literally just making up shit. Because there are several times where it sounds like he's just trying to scare you, or like a Alolan Raichu, the one that's like surfing on his own tail. It doesn't tell you anything about the Pokemon other than like, oh, it likes pancakes. You know.
Here's one last question I have. Either game or short series or gay or short series, whatever. I think it would be neat if the person doing all this research, whether it's player or character, started as an intern and then like earned professor from like a thesis thing on a legendary Pokemon, and you find out that all the other professors had some thesis thing where they made for their PhD for a specific Pokemon.
I think that would be wildly.
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be wildly interesting. Although I will say that I don't know a PhD. I think that would be a great addition to like the Pokemon lore. What I know as of right now is that professors achieve professor status by like becoming the head of a laboratory with a specific goal. Because like you see that in Sword and Shield, where the young hot professor replaces the old one, purely because she takes over and just like assumes the same like research. So like I don't even know if you have to do
thesis paper on Gardevoirs.
Whoa. Dude, it's fucking like it's like Professor Hickory, and it's like, what was your thesis statement on? And he's like, the mating rituals of Lopunny, Gardevoir, Salazzle, like all of Vaporeon, like all of those. And it's like, oh great, no. Good job. Oh my god, he's Officer like
Jenny.
He's the professor that does all the research on egg groups. He's the reason why we know what the egg groups are.
No. You find out he's related to every single like Pokemon daycare owner.
Oh, that's fucking horrifying, actually. Professor Hickory, the hardwood professor.
Professor Wood. Yeah, Professor Hardwood. There you go.
Wood.
Oh gosh, I mean that's a great topic. I would actually like to kind of, I might actually ruminate on that a little bit after stream today, just because like the idea of like a mini series covering that, because that was the thing, right? Remember Meltan and Melmetal, right? Those new the ones where it's like a little blob with like a hexagonal nut for a head. Those were Pokemon that were introduced in Pokemon Go. Because that was like a crossover event, because Pokemon Go was so wildly successful or whatever. I think that would actually be really interesting if it was like a mini series where it's like lab tech researching like Pokemon and like figuring out like, oh, this is how many like volts of electricity a Pikachu can produce and stuff like that, right? And then like the very last episode of the series, it's like, oh, it's his thesis to become a professor, and it's a brand new Pokemon. Like that's the debut of the Pokemon is in the final episode of that show. Like that'd be really cool, actually.
Yeah, sure.
That's a great idea, Adrian. You know what?
Professor
You know what, Adrian? I give you
Alakazam.
a silver star. Not a gold.
Thank you.
You can get a gold star by trading in 3 silver stars.
I thought, wow, the conversion rate gone down. I thought it was 10 silver for 1 gold.
I'm being a lot more generous now. It's 10 bronze for 1 silver, though.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
know. I'm sorry, Grant. I know you were working your way up to
Saving
9,
up. Yeah.
but you're going to have to earn another bronze star.
God damn it.
Oh, by the way, I'm introducing a new star above gold called platinum. That one you have to pay for.
Son of
Makes
a
sense.
bitch.
That one you have to gather 101 agents that you have their own special ability for.
All right. Anyway, we should end stream. All right. Ciao, everybody. Grant, I will not be seeing you tomorrow.
I will never
I'm crying a little bit on the inside, but it's okay.
Bye.
Bye.